26.
Oh,
It
that
happened
sounds so
again.
gross.
You did. Never go an episode without that happening.
No.
Yeah.
You did. Okay, so welcome everybody
Jesus.
to episode 26 of the Force Choke podcast. We'd like to begin saying thanks. Thank you so
Thank
much
Thank
to
you.
to everyone that watches, comments, and shares, shows up to the events, and of course to our guests.
So,
Thanks.
next part.
Thank
also,
you.
we're sorry we haven't been doing a podcast in a while. We've
Been a
on
month?
vacation.
Very busy.
Very
with
busy.
work.
A busy vacation.
Very
Yes.
busy with spring break.
Yeah.
And I'm still searching for my damn shoes from the
Marcus?
TSA.
Yes.
Fucking assholes.
Yes.
And
Micah, you have a legal battle with the TSA to replace your shoes?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Shoelace and all.
I am representing him.
Battle.
Which
God.
I think is a
taking
problem.
so long.
Oh,
maybe they'll just refund you for that one shoe.
They're like divided by 2.
Wow.
But I think that it's like this one, but it's this fellow, left and right.
You usually have a left and right fellow.
fellow?
What's a fellow?
Hey there, fellow.
Little guy.
You got 2 shoes on there.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
You got 2 shoes on there.
What has this shit turned into?
But. Is
What?
it- we're back.
We're back.
And
And
we're
we're ready to
Bring a
Tack.
good show.
Yeah.
No.
It's a show.
great
Okay,
show.
We're ready
It's
to
a
bring
show.
you a show.
We're ready
Whether
to bring
it's
you
good
a
or
show.
not.
Not the Izzy show, but
Not
something
a
better.
show.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Something you can watch, say,
Yeah.
comment, say, talk shit about
Like, comment,
TSA,
share.
say.
Okay, so let's go ahead and introduce the.
I'm Izzy, don't panic here.
That's
Okay.
mine.
Yeah, you stole her
Well,
thunder.
I'm at Izzy Don't Panic.
Yes.
And then we have.
She has a lot of great videos there.
Micah,
Sexy Papa.
The sexy.
Never forget.
I'm glowing now, guys.
You
Bastard.
can
Just
blush.
She has
I'm like red all the time, so yes.
Blush harder.
blush
Never
harder.
red.
Do it now.
Intense.
I want to see
blushing.
red come. I want you to bleed.
Whoa.
That is the freebie for today, sir.
Micah, that's one.
Oh, that's the one.
You found the lane. Creepy lane.
Yes, he passed it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I
that's
wanted to
right.
make sure we
one toke over the line.
What?
Taupe.
Oh, I thought you said
Not
something
yet.
Yeah.
else. So who are you?
Who are you?
I'm Sarah with an H.
Ah, right.
And I'm Tim. Micah has all my contacts.
Yes. You know, I feel bad for you, Tim, because
Oh my
God.
god.
nobody's filled your mail slot recently.
I haven't received any mail yet.
Lewis,
Yeah,
that's one.
that's Tim O'Dude, 1985 at yahoo.com. We want y'all to fill.
I'm gonna turn this because he can't see you.
Okay, I want you to fill
No one uses email like that anymore.
Tim's mail slot. Just pack it in. So, I am Lewis. And this is the Force Choke Podcast.
And you're watching the Force Choke podcast.
That's right.
On Facebook.
I drew the Mickey Mouse ears. You know, from Mickey Mouse.
Oh, the whole. It
Yeah.
used to be in the corner.
Is it the one?
Yes.
Yeah,
And then it shows
in the little.
And then they would do like
I might edit that into there. You doing the little ears.
You should do Vader mask.
Oh yeah.
You need to return
That
the
might take
HB
some
pin.
time.
It says he, as in
He.
his, as in mine. Where's the B?
I don't know. Something like that.
Lewis, you're out of the picture. Cody says I can't see you.
That's why I just fixed it, fool.
Yeah, I think
Like
it's.
God, you're on a 2-minute delay.
Bro, I didn't see you.
Yeah,
Where?
we're good.
What?
We're good.
No, we're good. It's fixed now.
Oh,
This
okay.
isn't-
We're good.
This isn't you.
I'm so honored that people want to see my face.
Oh,
And I feel slightly nauseous.
Yes. So,
sorry.
Moving on.
Okay.
what's next?
Get started.
Yeah, Tim,
Yes.
the news, all that good stuff.
Happily.
Give us
I
the
don't
good
have-
stuff.
There's not that
Good
much news.
stuff.
Yes.
There-
You know?
I mean, I couldn't find that much news happening.
What?
Wow.
Wow.
Lazy.
Just
Wow.
that the DVD and Blu-ray are out now. You got digital
For what?
downloads for
For
The Last Jedi.
TLJ.
Oh, Star Wars. We're talking about Star Wars.
Oh,
TLJ.
He
he was a 56th president?
Yes.
TLJ?
Yes.
Oh.
Right next to LBJ.
But Disney did something.
LBJ?
I just.
Yes. LJ.
You threw
no,
up a little
LBJ.
bit in your mouth?
I'm just gonna be like.
Just for
Can I talk that way?
President.
So go, Tim.
Yes.
The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Blu-ray.
Disney did something blasphemous on the DVD or Blu-ray.
I didn't
From
see
Blu-ray
it.
to DVD.
What did they do?
Blasphemy.
So on Blu-ray, your cover art has the characters, all the characters you need. But if you look at the DVD, and I don't know if you have the DVD, but
I
it's
got the
missing.
Blu-ray
but
It's
not the
missing.
DVD.
They took out Chewie
from the DVD.
from the cover art.
Oh.
Yeah.
Those
Maybe
B-words.
he wasn't there for the photo shoot. He was at the Han Solo photo shoot.
Because he was fitting on
Curse of
2
the-
of the
Bandoliers.
Bandoliers.
Yeah. Do you think that's
I
possible?
think I think it's just a mistake in editing.
How do you forget about that?
Cause you I have no idea how you forget about that.
It's because
Unless-
it's
unless-
because PETA.
That's big news.
Unless they designed that first, it's not big news.
That's
I don't
big
think
news.
is, but
No,
unless
it's
they
because
designed
PETA
that
came
first.
out and they want to protest Chewie eating porgs.
They banned him from the DVD.
Yeah.
That's getting out of hand.
I'm just kidding.
I love animals.
Yeah,
No,
they taste
stop,
good, right?
Don't do it. Ah.
Louis?
They're delicious.
I thought you were going to say it, yeah. Hey Tim, how do you like your porgs? A little chewy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So that is blasphemous, Tim. What I mean,
Why
what
would
do you
Disney
think?
do that?
I don't know.
I thought it was just like
It's not right.
they would fire the guy who did it.
Yeah, write a strongly worded letter.
Charlie word letter.
Fire him.
Oh yeah,
They say,
feed
okay,
him to the
yeah.
porg.
Feed
Okay,
him
okay,
to
that
the
looks good.
porg. Yes.
They printed it without Chewie. Like, who okayed that?
Yeah.
Just throw their ass out in space, see if they can Mary Poppins their way back to the ship. Oh, sorry.
True. What?
Leave her alone.
Yeah. Look.
I'm just saying. They forgot to add the umbrella to Leia in that scene. That's all.
True. I mean,
It was Superman cape.
yeah. Well,
Supergirl cape.
I was waiting for the background.
so
Dun,
did everybody has a
I
copy here?
I have a
Everybody-
copy.
have a copy.
So,
I don't have any coffee. What?
Picking Matt.
Micah, how many times have you seen The Last Jedi now?
Oof. Honestly, shamed. Only like 3.
3?
2 in the theater. I
Only
watched
3?
because I was watching a lot of the trying to watch all of the extras and stuff, and I'd go back and watch like certain scenes
Yeah.
over and over
Never.
and over
Mm.
and over again. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I've seen the intro 3 times.
Wow, that's impressive.
The most recent time when I got the movie, I started it and then I fell asleep.
So you're saying Star Wars isn't that good anymore?
No, I think it's
She's
great,
just
but
really
I was
tired.
just really tired.
So, yeah, she was tired. How many
She
times
was-
have you
guys,
seen it?
she was
sir?
tired.
Twice.
You've seen it twice?
Well, twice, yeah.
Twice?
I saw it twice in the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're fans.
I bought it.
Tim?
I've only seen that one time.
The one time?
The one time in theater. That's the one time I've seen it.
So I'm in the same boat as you are, Tim. I'm in the same boat as you are. I've only seen it once.
Ding.
I plan on seeing it this weekend, sometime. I want to.
The rebellion just died because you don't give a shit.
But-
Again.
I have seen many of the deleted scenes and extra bonus stuff.
Things that make
On
me
the disc.
sick.
So why don't we talk a little bit about the deleted scenes?
Let's talk about the
There's
deleted
15
scenes.
deleted scenes.
Yes.
And none of them were needed. I'm just kidding.
That's what they
Well, from what I saw, none of them really were, except for the one with Finn and Captain Phasma fighting.
It was an alternate scene, though.
that was deleted.
from the movie.
No, it was an alternate scene
That was
because it would have
deleted.
changed. No, it
So they're
wasn't.
saying the movie is out with that scene in there?
No, it's an alternate
Until
scene.
that happens, then you could call it an alternate scene.
It showed how Captain Phasma died in the movie. That
Yes.
scene says something completely
But
different.
that's
There's
No, both of those scenes, if
Did
it was
they-
deleted,
did they
then that
make-
means you can put that back in the movie.
Did they make-
If you can put that back in the movie, there's two different storylines.
I see what you're saying, but it's still cut out from the film, so they had to put something else in, which was that. I know what you're talking about. There's point.
Apparently you don't.
There's point. Yes, I do.
So that brings up a good question, though. I'm gonna ask the girls this.
That's why I even said alternate opening, because there's a different
So-
opening for the movie too.
So let's say
No.
they shoot a scene
I'm gonna
just once, but they leave it out.
I will not,
Yeah.
Matthew.
So let's
Matt.
say they shoot the same scene 5 different ways, but they pick one. Is that a deleted scene? Are the others deleted? Or they just...
And they just pick
It was-
the best one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just
There's alternate.
perfecting an art.
So they pick
Thank
the
you.
scene. They pick the scene. It is an alternate scene.
Yes.
So
It's an
that-
alternative scene that's
But I'm
still
just
in the
saying-
movie.
Thank
Like
you
the
again,
opening-
Matt. That,
I'm
that makes me
trying-
feel
I'm
good,
trying- I'm
man.
trying not to be a hypocrite here, but like
Too late, but go on.
it's a different scene that they chose to go with, and they took out a different definition. They didn't use the other scene, which is therefore
I'm
deleted.
glad we're not talking about Star Wars anymore. We're talking about semantics.
Yeah.
But
But technically
delete-
they're not deleted because they're there.
They
They're
don't
still
e-
there.
On
They're
the
just a little
on
bit
the deleted
different. They're
scenes on the
tweaked
DVD,
differently.
did
But
they
the
show
opening
that?
did
But
say
the opening
alternate
was
opening.
completely different.
we'll have to go back and
but
look.
what
I mean,
they're
either way, they're still going to be.
when they say deleted scenes, though, they insinuate that could have been added into the movie. They deleted it. They
Okay.
took it away. That scene that we're talking about with Phasma is an alternate scene because if you were to put that back in the
Yeah.
movie, it would not make sense.
There is
Do you understand what I'm saying?
okay, Lewis.
Because they showed 2 different ways of them dying.
We can go and watch the deleted scenes after the show to see.
But we know what we're talking about. And
No,
that's not gonna give
because
any
you have.
clarification.
I'm saying like the menu, the DVD or Blu-ray menu. You click, it says deleted scenes. You click on deleted scenes. You click, you want to watch it. It's going to show you there's 15 scenes. If that scene is in one of those 15, it is officially deleted from.
We just acknowledge that the guy screwed up by not putting Chewie on the scene, and now you're gonna follow him because it's under the heading deleted scene. Yeah.
Right? No, you're changing this.
No, I'm not.
And speaking of the deleted scene of Phasma and Finn, I think now. Tell me if I'm wrong, because I know you girls have seen a couple of them. Micah, I think you've seen most of them or all of them. Was there one where Phasma got her hand chopped off?
I think that's the same scene. You're
Right?
talking
Is
about.
that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's.
I don't think Tim caught that,
yeah,
right?
I didn't catch that.
I haven't seen that one.
That's
We're talking
right,
about the
and
scene
she-
you haven't even seen it,
I
but you're
think
gonna
there's
argue
another-
it.
I think there's another scene.
God, I am rubbing
Where
off on you.
There's
Shit.
another scene where she doesn't get her hand cut off.
Are you talking about the scene where she dies differently?
Yes,
Okay.
there's two different deaths.
That's isn't the
I
same
think-
thing. Isn't it the same scene?
Well,
I don't
I
think
wouldn't
so.
say she's dead, but like they knocked her ass out.
Her chance to get away.
Well, because remember we already said in the movie I don't think she's dead,
I don't know.
but they make it seem as if she is.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Escape artist,
yeah, she is.
Deleted scenes don't count. Thank you, Mark.
Mark Papa.
He just said you're an idiot, Tim.
Okay, Mark, back me up.
So, there were some deleted scenes. Well, you want to talk about some of the deleted scenes, Micah? I mean, I know that you're not that big on them, but I think they
Well-
deserve something to talk about.
Well, no. I preface it with the beginning that Ryan Johnson makes it seem like these scenes are very integral to the movie, but they didn't make it the story because they had to cut a lot of things. A lot of them, to me, seem superfluous in nature. They were not necessary. One of them that upset me though is because in the trailer you see Rey running with the saber, and it's like, oh shit, maybe the Knights of Ren are coming down to Octu. Something's happening, right? Have you seen that scene?
I saw
don't-
it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Have
saw
y'all?
it. I saw
It's
it
not?
with.
I don't remember.
There's with Ryan Johnson talking, and then there's without.
Well, she's
Yeah, I saw
running
both of
towards Luke's hut, right?
them. No.
Okay, what that scene itself is, well, anyway, just from the trailer itself, when you first see it, it's like, oh shit, something's happening because she's hauling ass. Looks like down the coastline with the saber ignited already. The deleted scene itself is because Luke is like tooling with her. she sees like some kind of like a bunch of boats come up, and they're like, oh, it's the caretakers of the island. They're like, oh, this is like a neighboring tribe or something from another island, and it's like a war party that they want to destroy them or something. And so she's hauling ass, like it was like a test that Luke did for her. So she's hauling ass down there, and she breaks down the gate or whatever, and it realizes it's just a celebration.
Yeah,
So it's just Luke, it's just Luke fucking with her.
Yeah, so they took that out because they didn't want to make Luke seem like a jackass.
Well, it's still there. I'm just saying I was upset with that one because like they make it seem like it could have like it could have been this really influential scene. In reality, it was just something irrelevant.
You know, and I what I did like about that scene that I wish they could have done.
Like even like they, he said
Oh yes, he's back.
alternate. Those deleted scenes were garbage except for the alternate bathroom scene.
Yeah.
Hey, he said alternate.
I like.
Thank you, Dane. I love you, brother.
Thank you for watching. I did like the way that Ray stormed off from him, though. Like, she was really mad at the end of that deleted scene, that little festival scene. I think somehow they could have kept that in somehow. Not necessarily that portion of it, but like she actually was really pissed off at him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like this is bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't remember who said it. I know having the conversation, but like, or maybe it might have been a video breakdown of Star Wars. Disney's always tried to, be very good about like inserting humor in little places, and like for Marvel it works because they've done that from the beginning.
Yeah.
Every Marvel movie they insert these little bits of humor, so you're expecting it.
Yeah.
Star Wars is not really been known for its humor. Like it's okay, like we see little things here and there, and it's like, oh yeah, that's funny. Oh, we're talking about the video from the Vero.
Yes.
That's what, that was part of what the girl was saying. But like the movie itself isn't really known for its humor, and then so you see like when Luke is telling Rey to tap in the Force, and he's jacking with her because of the plant,
Yeah.
or whatever, and then this that doesn't seem like Luke to me. It
Yeah.
feels like it takes away from the story in itself
Yeah,
too.
I agree with that.
Because like you go through episodes 4 through 6, even 1 through 3, you might be like little things like there's like oh ha ha ha, but it's not like driven comedy that they have to put in there.
Yeah.
And you see way more of that I think in this film versus any of the other ones, even episode 7.
Yeah, and I think that's why they grabbed the directors and executive producers from Game of Thrones. I think they're gonna take Star Wars in several different
God, I hope
directions.
It's gonna be nuts.
God, I
I
hope a
think
rated
so.
R direction, man.
Well, I think so because I mean you have for the kids, like Rebels and stuff like that, and then you have for the general audience, which is now our anthology and episodic episodes from the films, and then now if you add on to a more mature audiences that have grown up with Star Wars and now are at a different stage in their life, if you can harness that and get the revenue from that, I think they're seeing that Star Wars spans the whole. It's not just one group of people that love Star Wars. It's from 3 years old all the way 90s plus, I would think. You know what I mean? So I think they're going to try to harness that revenue. So if they take it in that direction, I think it's going to be really, really interesting.
Yeah, and I hope so. And that's one of the huge praise that I gave to episode 7 was like almost like rewriting the story for new people that can come into the Star Wars universe, right?
Yeah.
To appreciate the first film without necessarily having to watch 1 through 6, but at what cost?
Yeah.
Is that they do that so much is like they kind of take away from what the heart of what it is. They take away from the true fan base. And true fans aren't going to just walk away because of they did something in a different direction they don't agree with. I'm just saying, like, there has to be a balance to that, too.
Yeah. What do you girls think? Do you want to see a rated NC 17
MA.
Star Wars?
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
You know?
I'm
Like a
kind
torture
of
scene with
down,
the
but I'm
table?
afraid.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, I'm okay with that, but, like, I'm scared.
Yeah.
I want to see a rated R Star Wars, dude. That would be insane.
Yeah.
Like actually killing
Like
the
what?
younglings.
And to do that,
Oh.
Really?
Cool.
No.
I
not
missed
that
that.
part.
What?
Not,
Like they'd be actually killing younglings.
Oh,
Not that
no.
part.
What?
Not that part.
You know,
I want
for-
to see that
I'd
part.
like to see that.
No.
Dark side. It's like,
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Who's this
Well-
little hand belong to?
Well, Mrs. Goolsby, later on you're going to be Honorable Judge Goolsby
Yes.
for a debate that we're going to have.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that.
So
That term is so.
you're going to have to bring order to the table. Yes. So we'll talk about that a little bit more later. But I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool just to see that, maybe even, like I said, an NC-17 or rated. I don't think rated
Like
R
a-
would
I don't
be-
know about
Uh,
an NC-17.
gritty
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know about you.
Or
Not like necessarily like with maybe with violence, but just like underground stuff. I don't know I keep doing this, but like gritty and
Is that a grit?
That's grit.
Like-
grit.
Like grits?
Like there's sand between.
Oh.
the butter.
Sand.
Yeah.
Cinnamon?
See, I was thinking like the grit.
Grit.
Yeah.
No,
Like breakfast
no,
grit.
I get like the oatmeal. And,
Yes. I thought you were sprinkling the brown
no.
sugar.
Oh yes. The
The
salt.
grits.
Now, are these grits real or are they CGI?
God damn it.
No, I do want to add real quick.
Talking
Dane
about
mentioned.
that?
Dane
Yeah,
mentioned something.
go ahead, cover that.
Oh, okay. He said talk about Ryan redeeming himself with balancing the Force. So, Dane, are you meaning? What are you meaning exactly by that? By like taking out? I guess he took out Snoke, and then Rey's is not dead, but Luke is. So like, I guess he's like maybe he's still talking about like the the balance itself, like take one bad, one good. Because Luke disappeared after Snoke died. So maybe that was his way of balancing it. I'm not sure exactly what he's going with on that.
Yeah, and I think the direction is that the Force would have to become balanced by the end of 9, or if they even go with 10, like we kind of talked about,
Oh, it's a special feature? I don't know. I haven't seen nothing.
I haven't seen a special feature either on that. But,
It's one of the videos.
Oh, crap. I'll have to check it out then.
yeah.
But,
Horrible thing.
we talked about this in the past, but, lensing in perspective, like maybe the Empire is good, but we see it from the perspective of the other guys, and then maybe more so they're terrorists. What we actually saw, but so this always seems like this is like the good guys are always the underdogs. What if we actually see, like, the next one's supposed to be really like a war, like, and what if we actually see like bad guys,
The swing.
the bad guys, like really screwing some shit up for them? Like that would be an interesting dynamic because you never really seen that.
That's why I really enjoyed Legends also, because for a while in Legends, the Empire was skirmishing with itself so much after the Return of the Jedi event happened that they were the underdogs for a long time until Admiral Thrawn came around. You know what I mean? So you kind of did see them different. Like they were, on the ground getting kicked around by the rebels and stuff like that, and fighting amongst themselves. So I think that would be really a good dynamic to see in the movies. You know what I mean? Like we kind of missed that from Return of the Jedi to The Force Awakens. We missed. There's no movies.
Yeah.
To fill that in, but I think that would have been really, really neat to see. You know what I mean? How the First Order rose from all that mess. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but balance to the Force after the Last Jedi, because all you have really is Kylo and Rey.
But then you see Broom Kid. So is that to insinuate that there might be a dark side one to that?
Possibly.
Because that would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Why don't we get to see that? Ryan Johnson, son of a
He left it for
JJ.
JJ. Yeah.
I stood the bat for Ryan Johnson for a lot of things, but I'm starting to see that tear away.
Why is
What?
that? Why is that?
You're starting to what?
It's all starting to come.
You backed it. You backed him.
Yeah, because I was trying to I understand, appreciate, and respect J.J. Abrams leaving noticeable plot holes so it can be filled.
But
So it doesn't have to be a completely driven narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Episode H director can choose a direction.
Yeah.
But then he completely went off the rails, chose something completely different from what J.J. Abrams
JJ,
loosely had in place.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, does J.J. Abrams rip the steering wheel back to center? I don't think he'd do that. He's going to build off of the story because episode 8 is already, the foundation. He doesn't seem, J.J. Abrams doesn't seem like the director who would completely manipulate the story to go back to what he thinks is true.
Mm-hmm.
But in doing that, though, Ryan Johnson has taken a lot of liberties that we didn't think they would do, and now has, I don't know, directions I don't agree with, much like Leia. I don't know. I'm sure we're going to get into that later, but Leia's not dead. Carrie Fisher is. What are they going to do about that? And we're going to be talking about replacing her?
So what you're saying is that somehow on Octu, Rey bumped her head, and then when she wakes up on episode 9, nothing on episode 8 actually really happened. It
They did the time construct in Rebels
was, right?
to rewrite off of episode 8. Have you seen that? Have you seen them do that? Talk about that? They're like, well, for the
But
same
I think
fans.
Tim
that-
talked about it.
Did-
Right?
did
A
you?
little bit.
I thought I heard someone talk
Like
about
on
it.
Rebels, where they can pull people out and put them in different places.
Well, because of the time.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because
Doors?
at first you had
The
like
corridors of time.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, no. At first you had like a petition for people saying like episode 8 was so shitty they wanted it stricken from the actual trilogy, then redo it,
Mm-hmm.
and like petitioning it for it to pretty much never existed.
Episode 9.
And then it seems like the same people after that. It's like, oh wow, Star Wars just introduced a time construct where they can manipulate it and everything.
Yeah.
So what if they use this as like a loophole
fix
to
it.
rewrite the just the failures of episode 8? It's like, oh my god.
Listen to what Mark says.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What are the internet?
Mark says Last Jedi gives Attack of the Clones a run for the worst Star Wars film.
Oh shit.
Admiral
wow.
Akbar, classic hero, one of the worst throwaway deaths. He only got a side mention. Oh, by the way, Admiral Akbar, he did.
He did.
You know, that happens in war, though, right?
I guess it is a wrap
Sometimes,
or a trap.
sometimes
Frap.
There you go.
a crap.
Extra level.
Yeah, it was a big crap on the scene.
It's a scat.
I mean, sometimes that happens in war. People die in ways that you're like, they died how? Well, that's shitty. You know what I mean?
Like, oh, he survived
He got
so many
shot-
battles and then he died
Like-
from the flu.
Or
Yeah.
or like he got shot in the ankle, but it hit a main. No, but it hit a main artery and he bled
he
out.
died,
Hey,
yeah.
how do you
You
think
know?
Achilles went out? Watch it. No,
Yeah,
fine.
you know, I mean, you know, I can appreciate that we would have wanted him to perish in a different way.
In a more glorious way.
Yeah, but you know, that's the casualties of war sometimes.
Yeah, and even then, I feel like too much more. Any more attention to it would have taken. They would have taken away from Leia.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
So like there's these scenarios that you're never gonna win
Yeah.
with everyone.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, Admiral Akbar is a huge character, but goodbye.
Mon Calamari.
Bye bye.
Dane says right after, he said, watch the balancing of the Force section in the special features and you might think differently. This is the first film done by a legit Star Wars fan.
I'll watch it. I mean, I can't right now.
Well, continue with what
But-
you were saying with Ryan Johnson. Like you had his back through this whole time, and now you're kind of like the building pieces are falling apart. Talk to us a little bit about that, Micah. That's interesting.
They had a clear direction as far as lineage was concerned with some of the characters, such as Rey.
Mm-hmm.
Now she is a nobody.
Mm-hmm. You don't like that.
Nobody. It's not that I don't like that, but
Only because you heard it from Kylo, do you even trust him?
well, then I said it from the start, even after we walked into the movie, that I think
Yeah.
that was bullshit.
Yeah, Micah and I kind of like.
Yeah.
That's the first thing, right?
That was the
When
first
we
thing I was
first
like.
walked out,
I think I said something to the effect of, he's fucking lying.
Yeah, I was like,
man.
you're talking about Kylo telling Rey she's nobody, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah. I was like, I thought the same thing.
And then Snoke, with that. Well, no, Snoke saying that he bridged their minds. I called bullshit on. I think that was the second thing I commented on.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm not trying to like nitpick, but there's just little key things that to connect the stories. That it's contingent on what happens next. I just feel like he wanted his vision so much so that it kind of almost trashed on 7 a little bit and the future of what we may see or may not see.
Do you feel? And I don't know, ladies, what do you think? And Tim, do you feel like JJ kind of like you mentioned, like kind of left it open, whereas Ryan kind of like, okay, this is where it's going.
Yeah, I mean, not
Right.
only did he fill the voids, is he fucking barricaded it in. Like,
Yeah, like it has to go this certain
Yeah.
way. I don't know. What do y'all think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to
If
go.
there's like setting
Yeah.
up
I mean, there's
for
not-
disaster.
There's only one
There's
direction.
very little room for them to
It
go.
does say it. I thought I was going to say the band thing. Whatever.
I was going to, and then you
Yeah.
said it for me. So
Mm-hmm.
The what?
wonder. I said.
Could-
What did I say?
I said like it only leaves in one direction to go, and I was waiting for someone to make a
But
mark
then,
about
like,
the
Rebels
band.
opened up that door to.
Changes. So
Possibilities.
maybe they'll bring that back. So
But I don't
Maybe
think
Ray
they.
will find that.
But I don't think they'll.
Oh, maybe.
maybe.
'Cause we
like,
haven't
it's like
really-
the thing. You know the
Yeah,
when
yeah.
she's in like the
The
darkness
temple?
of. Well, no, when
Mirrors?
she's the mirrors.
But with the huge thing.
Yeah,
Maybe
in
that's
the-
what she was.
That's in
stumbling
the
upon.
that's Jedi Temple. It's within it.
Oh,
Act 2.
okay.
Yeah,
But
but
maybe that's what it is, and she's just
yeah, you know,
discovering it. I don't know.
Wait,
You know,
are you
'cause
talking
we-
about the thing at the bottom?
Yeah,
Yeah.
where she's like, and
we really haven't seen a lot of Jedi temples right
Yeah.
in the movies.
Yeah.
I think the only one we see is on Coruscant, the main Jedi
Mhm.
temple.
To where? Coruscant.
Coruscant. So I don't know. Maybe Tim, you're
Where
right.
she sees herself as a kid, is that the timeline? I mean, is that she looking through the gate at that one?
Oh, that would be sweet, man.
Yeah. I think that they can have fun with that, but overall, I don't think that they're going to do that to take away a lot from episode 8.
Mm-hmm.
Because to do that, they're going to pretty much be rewriting Ryan Johnson's vision of 8,
Mm-hmm.
and they just approved him for a trilogy of his own.
Of his own. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, you did a great job, and we appreciate what you're going to do for us in the future, but you
Right.
screwed up here.
Yeah.
Even though Kathleen Kennedy is like, this guy is like the main, spokesman.
Yeah, I think
Not spokesman, but
They don't
her
think-
biggest advocator.
I don't think they think he screwed up at all.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Is like that's why even
They love
with
this
even
way.
with what Rebels opened for us, I don't think that they're going to be making a lot of hard changes
Mhm.
to what happened in episode 8.
I see what you're saying.
Well, if it's creative and imaginative, I think they will.
Speaking of that,
I mean, yeah, to an
is there
extent.
something that y'all would have liked to have seen in The Last Jedi that didn't happen?
Force Ghost, more than just
More
Yoda.
Yeah.
than just Yoda.
Yeah.
They talked about Obi-Wan
Oh,
Kenobi.
yeah.
I mean, Evan
Yeah.
McGregor. Yeah. Go on, say it.
No.
Did y'all miss?
Oh, I didn't think about it.
Oh, what?
There's rumors
Okay,
about
I
him
wanted
floating
that.
around the damn
I
sea.
wanted
I wanted that to
God.
happen.
Okay, so
Hayden,
for,
I think I would have loved that.
Liam Neeson, what the fuck, man?
I,
Sorry.
I missed it. What did y'all talk about? Is it? What did
Um,
y'all just talk about?
Hayden Christensen being a Force Ghost,
Oh.
and I was like, I forgot all about it because there was he was saying like there was rumors before about it.
I mean, just think about it. Like you see the scene where Kylo Ren was like working out, and then Rey sees him, but he has his shirt off. I know y'all remember that, but he's like probably working out or something to that effect, right?
Yeah.
What if in the process, like he's trying to hone in some dark side shit or something, and Anakin pops up, like actual Anakin, and Hayden Christensen's Anakin, and like, grandson,
Shirtless
you're
too.
fucking up, dude. Don't do this.
hey man, you're screwing up.
He's all,
You granddad, as he's pumping iron or something. But I'm just saying, like some kind of guidance in there that makes him even more like conflicted.
Yeah.
Like, or even in any other direction, but seeing that as like maybe even not even really a Force Ghost, but like somehow Kylo using his connection to the Force to like manifest some kind of vision that he thinks that Anakin would be telling him as Vader.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I
they
don't
had
know.
so much they could go with that, and they didn't
Yeah.
tap into it at all.
I think I wonder if Kylo Ren was using Vader's mask to help him conjure Anakin. And from some of the stuff that I've read, that he left that helmet, Vader's burnt helmet, on one of his other spacecrafts because he was ashamed that he hadn't. Starkiller Base blew up. He didn't turn Rey to the dark side,
He
and
failed.
he failed.
he's a big failure.
He's a
To
big fail
himself.
to himself and to his grandfather. That's why you don't see that in Episode 8.
Yeah.
He's
And-
like, don't look.
Vader, like the first Death Star, gets short though.
Yeah, that's true. But
It's like I'm living up
that's-
to you, buddy. I made one
Yeah.
screw up, but one big one.
But I think that he wanted to
Yeah.
do that for his lineage. You know what I mean?
No, I get you.
So I think that I think that's why we didn't see that,
Yeah.
and we may see that in the next one. I think JJ would be ballsy enough to put that in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? especially for a little bit of what we call fan service.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, hopefully, yeah.
You're just saving it for a good time.
And that's your freebie.
I wanted to say that.
That's one.
All right, so let's see some of our other notes here. Now, I wouldn't call these. I don't know. Would you call these deleted scenes because the novelization for The Last Jedi came out as well from our last podcast to today, and there's some things that happened in the book that they didn't touch base on in the film, and one of them is. You want to do it? Izzy?
I
Read
will.
that first one for me. Yeah.
Luke's contemplation of what his life would have been like if he didn't meet C-3PO and R2. Was
More
that
shit
like
learning.
the deleted scene where he was like, he had his moment?
Oh, maybe.
Because he was like, he walked
There
into
was
his
a
little
deleted scene
hut.
called Luke's Moment.
Like,
Or Luke has a moment, and it's Ray and Luke, and they're, he's like, I'm not going to teach you, blah. She's like, I'm going to stalk you. And so he goes into his hut, and he just, like, has a minute of, like, deep thought.
and he looks
And
really.
then,
I thought it was
and
for.
then it just cuts to Leia.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So
I,
maybe that's touching
Part-
on it,
part
sort
of
of. Maybe
touching
that's
it.
what he's thinking of
Could be.
in
Could
his
be.
moment.
I thought it was for mourning Han. I thought that was for him mourning Han's death.
Oh, the moment.
I thought that was part of the scene.
Oh,
Though.
okay. So that's something.
I could be wrong, but I thought I just no. I just thought I remembered him just kind of like my best friend's gone.
Mhm.
Like I abandoned this cat and he's dead now
Yeah.
due to my failure in training his son.
Yeah.
I thought that's what that was. But
So
that's an interesting point, though.
Yeah, let's
That's
go-
brought up in the novelization. The sequel.
Yeah. Uh huh. So what do you think? You think Luke would have just been like a junk trader, or maybe he would have joined the Empire? He wanted to join the Academy.
We've been pod racing.
I don't know. He talks about his friends joining the rebellion in episode 4. Remember, he's pleading with his uncle. He's like, but they took off.
But he was gonna go with the Biggs to the Academy, to the Naval
Oh,
Academy.
shit. That's true. That's true. No. I'll give
Biggs
you that.
changed
Yeah, yeah.
sides.
No. I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was in one of the Rebels episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, even then, if he took off with Biggs, but they may not have the same lineage like that. It's interesting.
That is. I don't know. How would y'all like to see Luke
I don't know.
as a
Dude, because if that happened, you
Is that-
probably would have gone dark side.
yeah?
Because if he's gonna be a badass pilot, eventually somehow Vader's gonna get wind with this guy, and he's gonna like,
This is our best pilot.
"Where are you
Who is
from,
this?"
fool?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tatooine hate that place. Wait a minute.
Like, what's your name? I'm TC whatever. No, what's your name? Luke Skywalker.
What?
Oh!
I was like, "Oh, that's my trick here." What'd you say?
Look, right? His little box. Wait. What?
He just like, hold on, I need my Coda size. Turns it off. My boy's back. Oh fuck, you heard that?
Ooh, what would happen then?
Oh, it darks out all the way, man. Probably. And Luke would have killed Leia.
Oh, God. Well.
That would be interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a moment like that at the beginning of the movie. I guess I don't know if you'd call that a deleted scene or a deleted moment, but that was in the novel.
I see. Look at you all getting defensive. Like, what would you call it?
Tim, you want to take the second one?
Han's funeral was in the novelization, wasn't in the movie.
Yeah.
Would y'all have liked to see that? No?
I would have been really
I would have been
upset.
crying
Yeah.
hard.
I think
Like,
they're going to put it at the beginning of
Ugly.
9.
I thought that's where they're going to do too. But where does that stack with the novelization is what I want to know.
Like
Because with
where
the scope of that
within it?
movie, there would have been no time to
Yeah.
have this funeral.
Yeah, I agree.
Because as soon as
It's very
they
big.
destroyed Starkiller Base, they had already known they're at the Ilenium system,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's like hours.
They got to go, yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
like
if you
hours after the fact.
Think about it. Leia lost Han, Admiral Akbar, General Holdo, and Luke within like hours.
oh,
Jeez.
That's nuts, right?
Well, what did you see earlier? It's a casualty of war.
Yeah, casualties of war.
Mhm.
That's crazy though.
Supposed
I
to be
mean, because
fucking- everyone's
for
supposed
us,
to be
it's
fucking
been a couple
professional
of
here.
years,
Yeah.
you know, but for her, it's only been several hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty intense. Pretty intense. But maybe we'll get Han's funeral in, like I said, Episode 9? yeah.
What if it?
Like
What if they do
Leia or
it
something.
and Leia?
Well, see, that's
wait, what did you say?
That's
and
what-
Leia.
But see, I've said that
Leia.
before though.
Leia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've said it before, like, because I thought that, like, one of the, like the things that come out and they're like, oh, we heard that they're shooting this or whatever. I thought they were going to use that to double on it.
Mhm.
Somehow she died, and they double that funeral service for both of them.
Yeah.
Or they use a funeral service not so much for Han, but for Leia instead, because they have that recorded.
It'd be so sad if that's where Leia dies, right? Because of an attack from the First Order.
What? At the funeral?
Yeah. That'd be so
She's
cheap.
like,
If they knew all these generals and
yeah,
stuff
I
were
mean, it's
there.
an easy target.
Well, the Game of Thrones directors already.
Oh.
Well, even then, though, because I think I
Right.
mentioned it maybe to you, Lou. Talked about that though, is because remember at the end of episode 8, like the distress signal went out and no one's
Oh,
responding
that's
and
right.
no one gives a shit. Like,
That's
what has to happen for these guys to be like, okay, let's bring back the resistance, let's bring back a true rebellion?
Yeah.
Like losing
Like,
that piece.
Mon Mothma was on the other side of the phone call.
Yeah,
Hey, we need help. Ooh, sorry about that.
yeah. Well, and even then, they did that in Rebels too. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
we need help. It's like, oh, we can't. Our hands are tied.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, and then maybe it has to take a death of like Leia. It'd be like,
Okay, we got to.
we might have messed up
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
You know.
The North remembers.
Yes.
It's gonna be
What
like,
if
it's
they,
gonna
what
be
if they
one of
somehow
those-
did like a red wedding by for Star Wars?
Oh.
Because it's gonna be rated R, dude. Fucking sabers everywhere.
Oh my god.
Hey, bro, did you see my hand? I lost it.
Yeah.
Well, that's where the Knights of Ren come in. I know you're still waiting.
That's one. I will still give it to Ryan Johnson. The choice he did to
Kill them
not
out.
kill them off because it was a
'Cause,
Praetorian
yeah.
Guard of them.
Because he said that if they were in this movie, he would have killed
He
them.
would
all.
kill them all.
Yeah. So.
But see, that goes to show, like, what the fuck, man? It doesn't fit to his little box, so he's just gonna
Like,
rid him.
yeah.
You know, like,
We don't know anything about
it's
him.
disturbing.
Yeah.
It's even more disturbing than Mary Poppins Leia. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, you gonna take the third one?
Yeah. Leia and Chewie have a moment on the Falcon.
When we say
Well, they didn't-
moment,
Is it a
Micah, that's who.
Is it a romantic moment?
I mean,
No.
Okay.
No.
we talked
Okay.
about Chewie's beautiful locks of hair.
Ugh.
You know.
That is like
Maybe
warm
it's just
to
like-
cuddle with.
Chewie, hold me.
Like they're
Scold
there.
me.
Han and Luke there.
Come on.
I'm telling you, that's when Lando walks in. Hello, what do we have here?
More of
Maybe
a
it's like a crying moment.
yeah, it was because we didn't get one of those for the Force Awakens. Leia and Chewie kind of like pass by each other, so I think they made up for that in the novelization of this one.
I think even Abrams said like that was an oversight on his part.
Mhm. Yeah, and in the novelization, it's more of like Leia, you know, Chewie kind of tells her, you know, hey, you know, sit down. We got to take off on the Falcon, and she's about to sit down, and she's like, no, this is where Han sits, and they kind of like, yeah,
Oh.
I
yeah,
just get
I
chilled.
got it up a little bit.
yeah. So she was like, no, and her and Chewie, yeah, they just kind of had a brief moment there
And then-
of sentiment.
And then Poe just goes to sit down like, ooh,
Ooh.
seat for me.
So, would y'all like to see that somewhere in the movie? It'd be hard to fit
Yeah.
all those things in, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what that
It
was.
was wispy.
Tim, I don't think it's
still there.
I think it's still there. Tim, take care of it.
Yeah.
It's like underneath.
Right.
Tim, that's your one, buddy.
There it is.
You
Yeah.
got it. You got it. Right there.
That's your one, Tim.
Thank you. But no, all those moments are really great, but hard to see where they would fit in
Yeah.
to such an epic movie.
And those would have been really pulling on the heartstrings.
So they had a Leia and Rey moment
And
at the end of The Force Awakens. Why didn't they just throw Chewie in there?
Yeah, because Ray's like,
Mhm.
did you know?
Because they're
She's like, I
having,
know,
yeah,
kind of thing.
because they're having a haunt moment,
Mhm.
Leia and Ray. Why not just, have Chewie be next in
Yeah, come
line?
Mhm.
And,
It's like a little conga.
or,
line.
oh,
Dun,
that
dun,
was
dun,
so
dun,
cute if
dun,
you
dun.
hugged them
Those,
both.
Da, 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 hug. Da, 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 hug.
and the
Okay.
bloopers, the blooper reel, they
But-
had Finn was hugging, I think it was Rose or Ray, one of the two. I can't tell. It's like the backside, like the hair right here, and then from behind Finn comes Poe hugging both of them.
Oh, I think I remember that. Yeah,
Oh,
that was good.
How adorable.
That was
Yeah,
good.
it's hilarious.
Was good. That was good. But there's so many things that they could have put in or left out. I mean, it's all good stuff. A lot of it's good stuff. Maybe not some of the deleted scenes that you're talking about, but But
I need this.
there's a lot of people that said that they should have just left out the whole Finn and Rose thing. That whole thing should have been a deleted part of the movie. How do y'all think?
I liked it. I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. It was
Wasn't bad.
just an alternate plot.
I think it was nice that we saw him like have somebody like
Mhm.
there, but I was like, I don't really care for it. But like,
Mhm.
nice to know. But like, I think it could.
It's just to break it up, I think.
Would
It
you
helps.
rather have some of these things that we were
Yeah.
talking
Yes.
about
Yeah.
opposed to?
Yeah. That them. Their
Yeah.
little.
That's interesting.
But I think they use that to drive at that underlying aspect of the movie, like the quote that Rose says. It's not about fighting what you hate, but saving what you love. Yeah, that line.
Mhm.
Like I feel like he had to somehow integrate that, and that was the most plausible direction. But if they were to take that out, I think it could have worked.
Mhm.
It would have worked without
Tim's
it
like-
anyway.
Rose is not a good
I don't know. What do you think, Tim?
Finn, you're a goddamn stormtrooper, buddy. You don't have feelings.
That could still come across as
I
like
think that-
teaching Poe his lesson, whatever.
What?
Yeah. Wait. What?
No, I'm not saying like Leia and Poe like relationship. I'm just saying
Should be.
like getting the message across to him without the whole like love deal. You know what I mean?
No,
I
I'm just.
don't think she meant
Finn?
it like that. Like she's like romantically in love with him. Maybe it's just like they have this bond now that they've been through the casino thing and.
They made it seem like it was a romantic thing. At least that's what I took from
Or
it.
it's like
I
if
didn't.
you
I
almost
didn't.
You didn't
died.
feel romantic. I didn't either.
They kiss for God's sakes. What else do you want?
Well, they're gonna
Why?
shoot that
Do you want to
Kiss
see
when
like?
they die.
You want to see Finn go? Move the camera. Like, what else do you need to show that's what that was?
There was.
I don't know. I
You
just
see,
didn't
like,
feel it.
I
wasn't
love you, you
feeling
big
it.
stupid bear.
Yeah, I think that would have.
Not exactly like that, but I mean, they could have made it clearer if they
Right.
could have made a bigger gesture. Like,
Yeah, sure.
You know, like,
Takes out the note.
Yeah.
I got your letter, by the way.
Yeah, because they did.
It's a sappy fucking
They
love
did
movie
a-
now.
They did not a.
blah.
Because they still want to
Embrace.
keep it Disney. In what Disney movie do you see? Hey, baby. Yeah, that's the best, guys.
I did see a very deep kiss from Luke and Leia in Empire.
Oh yeah. I remember.
Now,
Not
that
owned
looked
by
romantic.
Disney, though. Not owned by Disney at the time.
That's crazy.
Uh,
A little while.
It is owned by
It
them
wasn't
now.
an Anakin and Padme thing.
What?
It wasn't an Anakin and Padme thing. It wasn't
'cause
the,
Anakin
like,
and Padme are, like,
sappy,
the best.
The
you
best
know?
what
Pair.
of.
Their relationship goals.
What?
I don't think
I don't-
so.
Mm-mm.
I don't see Rose and.
I don't think so either.
I'm not saying it was like crazy involved, but I saw more so the romanticism in it. With that they were trying to drive at that, and I felt like they only used that, or maybe not the only reason, but I felt like they used that to have the underlying theme, like fighting against, not fighting, against hate.
Oh no, what do you think?
Stevie
Tim?
for
Did you-
love.
That's the next one
Did
to
you-
make it up to the fans.
Do you feel like it was romanticized? That portion?
No.
No,
See?
I didn't see that either.
The movie, did you?
Were you watching the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Right.
Dane. Rose was not a good
They
addition.
just saved each other's lives or
Yeah.
saved one
Yeah,
love
that's
life.
what I thought too.
So
Like,
it's like,
it was
thank
like
you.
in the moment.
You know what
kind
I
of
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Well, they had a lot of in the moment kind of things.
Just not the moment.
Whatever, fine. I was thinking of something else.
The
I was like,
moment
I'm
when
not
they
gonna- I'm not gonna-
connected romantically.
Well, she was kind of.
Yeah, they didn't have that.
That didn't have that.
No.
Not
No.
She was just a fan of Finn before she even got to know him, so it's kind of like
Thank you, Nate.
She's like, hey, I got a chance to
Everybody's
meet
she
hating
just
on
enjoyed
Rose.
that.
I like
yeah.
Rose.
No one's hating on Rose except for
You're
me and
hating
my
on
brother.
Rose.
Y'all are the one defending Rose.
Rose was a great addition.
Rose has
Thank you,
great
Nate.
hair.
Dane's
Rose.
not a good addition.
Maybe not her hair.
I had several people come up to me and say, "Hey, you kind of remind me of Rose." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Should take them.
Yeah, I was like, "Nice."
And then they just
Thank
walked
you.
off,
Yeah,
and you're like,
Good Rose or good? No.
Or Rose from the Titanic.
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
What?
Sorry.
She has red hair.
I don't know.
Rose from where?
Okay,
the Titanic.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. To get Finn back on the level, they can make it up to us in episode 9 by the very beginning,
Don't kill Rose.
killing Rose.
No.
That's what I was just saying. Yeah.
No.
Would.
Why?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear
Yeah,
you.
I just told him. I said they would. He's like, what would you think, Tim, about Rose?
Maybe
And
kill
I said
Rose to make
they would kill
Finn
her in the
go
next
all,
one
like,
for
Hulk-
like as a fan service,
Hulk
like
out
Okay.
of the
I don't want to say
to make up for.
Empire.
And just to show that Finn still is a damn stormtrooper,
Yeah.
he's gonna go back to that hole. He's gonna start getting pissed off, and he's not gonna run anymore. He's gonna be like, how many of these guys can I fucking kill? Because they killed Rose.
But if they killed her in the
Yeah.
next
If
one,
you
that,
have
would-
interest.
I think if they killed her in the next one, that would really make
His friend.
her appearance in this one meaningless. Not meaningless, but like just.
Because it already is
That's still a
meaningless.
But I
meaning.
think it might
Like,
inspire.
why would you do that?
I think she'll probably in the next film be a general.
Nate, what the what?
What did Nate say?
Rose had better dialogue than Anakin.
And then Dane said she's already in a coma.
Oh
just
my
make
God.
Sure you throw her out of.
Oh god.
I just want to hear. Man, I'm hungry.
Oh my god. Really?
Hey, Chewie doesn't have a life debt anymore.
I gotta-
He's a free agent, man.
I want to ask y'all a question.
He's not a monster.
Since
He's a
This is a
beautiful
little
being,
bit
you're right,
off
and the man gets
what
hungry.
we're talking about here, but since the guys from Game of Thrones have come on, and then there's been some novelizations of Death Troopers, actually zombie troopers, and do you think they'd bring something like that into it from the Game of
What?
Thrones guys?
Well, the mountain. I mean, come on.
No, I think they bring some. That's pretty cool. It's fresh to the Star Wars universe, but it wouldn't be fresh to them.
Mhm.
Like they know how.
It'd be something that, yeah,
Yeah.
too similar.
Kind of not too similar, but close.
But I can
Like
see
some
them
kind
doing
of-
something like that though, because
Some
that,
kind
like
of
that's
plague-
like almost like their
plague
forte
or
though.
something.
Like, because they would know how to do it. Kind of like Guardians was kind of a fresh, newer thing
Mm-hmm.
to Marvel. So maybe bring these guys in to do, the type of film or story that they can, execute really well.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're used to all that, shit from, mayhem from Game of Thrones, why not use that to their advantage?
And maybe not zombie, but maybe some kind of
That's like way
yeah,
over
I know, maybe
and
some
it
other
wouldn't
kind
make
of
sense.
plague or
Like-
something like that, or
Well, I mean,
infestation or something.
I don't mean like zombie, but like what you're talking
Like
about. Like the
mind
Death Troopers
control.
were essentially zombies,
Mind
right?
control.
Yeah.
Because we even talked about in an episode talking about like the abilities and the teachings and everything that Vader had was like part of that was Sith alchemy. It wasn't that was reconstructing these guys essentially zombies into Death Troopers
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what I'm talking about. Not like an actual zombie. You're not
Okay.
gonna see.
Well, that's
Let me follow your orders. You're gonna
You have
see
to
like.
be, like very careful how they
And then
do
a
that
hand falls
story
off.
because you're kind
And
of
it
like
detaches
teetering.
it.
into-
that
Star
genre,
Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting into that kind of genre.
Well, on Rebels,
sci-fi.
like mind control that you're talking about, Sarah. There on the show Rebels, there wasn't I think it was like 3 or 4 episode span where I don't remember who it was, but they looked like little worms, like earthworms. They were putting them into the bunks of the clone troopers, and the bug would either go through their nose or through their ear, and
That's
kind of
hot.
curl around the brain stem, and you were able to control the clones that way.
That would be cool.
And those episodes were pretty
That would,
gross,
I mean,
but
gross,
neat.
but that's really
That was
cool.
in
Yeah.
Rebels.
That was in Rebels.
That's
What would be
maybe
the
not
I think it
show
was
the
season-
actual like
Oh, it did, and Rebels it just went.
Oh, okay, maybe hopefully not that. I don't
So
know
like
where
the
they're gonna go,
faculty?
but that would be really cool.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, it is a good movie. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Well, yeah, because they're like leeches or some shit.
Ew, yeah, I remember that.
And they control the brains
Mm-hmm.
by the what do they call it? Like they even showed in the hive kind of concept.
Oh yeah, the Hive.
Like there's a mother and it has like all these like leeches or whatever the hell parasites
Mhm.
that would control the host.
The Brood.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you said Marvel.
Well, they have one called the Hive, at least in the Ages of
Oh,
Shield. show.
Hive. The Hive. Okay, I thought you were talking about the other alien species.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have one called the Hive.
That's right.
I forgot how they did it though.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool one. But oh, you know what you wanted to talk about also, Tim? Was EA is going to do possibly a new Star Wars movie, not movie, game. You want to talk about that a little bit, or from what
yeah.
you've heard about it?
Do y'all know what MMO means?
No,
No.
Well, I'm sure some of these guys.
yeah,
So probably not. It's massive, like multiplayer online gaming.
Oh, okay.
So it's just
Oh.
explain to everybody what that even is, because we might have some people that are not gamers.
Me.
Yeah, there you go. So what is multi what? Ma-
massive multiplayer online.
Massive multiplayer online. Okay.
Yes.
So what is that, Tim? First.
Anyway, so you have, I mean, they're all different, but you can have a character with their own, to play throughout their own story. But at the same time, like Micah can have his character with going through his story, and we can both cross paths in this world while we're trying to do our thing.
Can I kill your character?
You can, actually you can, yeah. And then MMO, well, in certain MMOs you can. Like if you're in the same like guild or team, you probably can't. Like if we were both rebels, we probably couldn't. But if like when you're in separate factions in an MMO, you would be able to, in a story, kill each other. And you would have to in
Mass
some games you would
chaos. Love it.
be set back and you have to progress again. But it's gonna be very different from
Are you
the
excited?
usual casual Star Wars games. This is more MMOs are usually for diehard players that they play for like years,
It's like World of Warcraft kind of stuff.
something like that.
Yeah, Nate on here says it's Skyrim Online meets Star Wars. I've never played Skyrim, so I
Me
can't
either.
speak to effect of that. And okay, and I
Is
And you
is
say
that like Minecraft?
God, don't. Don't.
more
Don't.
like mine crap. No, I'm playing.
Don't. Don't.
Okay, so now here's
Don't do it.
here's a thought though.
Please.
Here's a thought though. It's an EA open world game for Star Wars.
Oh, and that's all. The downside is EA's doing it.
But well, that's what I'm going to ask though. Do you feel like this is a last effort for EA? Because I read something not too long ago that it makes it seem like EA is going to lose their licensing
Yeah. Well,
from Star Wars,
if
and
they
like,
don't
is this
do
a
this
last
shit-
effort?
If they don't do it right, I think that's it for them. Like you don't get a second chance.
But that's what I'm saying. Is Lucasfilm going to let them go through with it?
yeah.
Because it already sounded like that
Yeah, I
they were
thought
almost
were
going to lose that
it.
licensing
Yeah. I
alone
swear
because
they
of
were gonna
Battlefront
pull
2.
from them, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, are they going to really let them develop it so far and be like, you know what? No. Like, either they're going to let them, like, are they going to let them do it, or are they going to, like, okay, cool concept. Screw you guys. You already screwed up too much stuff. Let's let another firm do it.
They
'Cause-
did, Nate, but I have to disagree with the whole like. Everybody was pissed at the.
What did Nate say? 'Cause
Oh, EA did a good job with Battlefront.
Oh, okay.
Just cried about.
People just cried about microtransactions. Yeah, there you go. He said it before.
Oh, all have to buying all the
Yeah.
stuff.
Sorry, we don't have a lot of money like you,
People
buddy.
paying for it. Yeah.
I'll wait for the response to that one.
So you don't like that EA is going to be doing this one, Tim?
This is terrible. This is a terrible company.
So do you
Creating games.
So do you feel
They
like
should just stick to their sports.
what is it about
EA Sports gets in the game. I remember that shit for forever.
what is it about EA that you don't like them doing the game, Tim?
They don't
Is it
care.
the graphics? Is it the gameplay?
Yeah,
Is
well,
it the,
it's all of it.
all of it?
Yeah,
it doesn't feel right.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when they
You
try
should
to-
be sorry, Micah. The
When they
fuck?
try to create one of those AAA games, which is what they would call it, where they get a big budget and you create this game with its own story, whatever. It's like a waste of money. Like they give them all this money and then they don't do anything with it, or they don't.
They're smoking cigars.
They don't put
and
out a good.
having takeout.
They don't put out a good product, a good game for people to have fun with.
limo rides. They're spending their money at the wrong place.
What are you talking about?
Because they're getting all this money and they're spending it in the wrong place.
But I mean, for real though, like how much are you spending for a game now? And then to realize that
60
not only did you,
60
well,
bucks?
I mean,
Right?
yeah, 60, is it 60, 65, 70?
It's between 60 and 70.
When it comes out like $59.99
Oh,
something like that, right?
It's a lot of money, right?
So plus tax and everything, but then to realize that you just purchased that game,
And it was-
and what's marketed is all the things that you got to buy extra now, or that you got to spend infinite time on there. It's like, is that like in a sense almost false advertising?
Well, some
Like,
of it
you're
is-
getting an incomplete game, and you're already spending so much damn money
Some
on
of it
it
is
already.
because some of it is because like the game is being in development for 5 years, and like they need to get paid for all this that time they're spending on it. It's so much part of their lives just working on one single game. And some people are working on multiple projects, but then there's people who work on like a project that's only for not even a year, or they work on it for a year, like Call of Duty, for example, like comes out like that, like
Yeah,
nothing.
they have two different companies that
And they'll throw
alternate
in,
years, right?
and then they'll throw in like microtransactions, and they're selling it at the same price as the same one that spent 5 years on, and then plus you're gonna get the microtransactions, and that's even more money.
I know, but that's still coming out of the consumer, and is that truly fair? It's not our fault. EA had a shit deal with
Yeah.
Lucasfilm. They just see it as we got to deal with Lucasfilm. We're gonna get so much money because this is Star Wars, and Star Wars is gonna sell itself. Just because they can't come up on a compromise to fulfill the needs of the game through Lucasfilm's needs, like, and they're gonna make us pay for it. Like that's bullshit, though.
Kind of like the cable company.
Well, I mean, sure. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's an opportunity to renegotiate. Well, I mean, because I'm quite sure that, like, you know, when the agreement came down. I mean, of course I'm simplifying this because I don't truly know. I'm ignorant about this stuff. But it's like, okay, this is the game. This is what direction I want you to take. This is what we want out of it. This is how much money you're going to get for it. This is your time frame. You know what I mean? Like they have certain specifications that they have to meet up to, and then they're going to turn around and spend more time, or they can spend less money on something so they can involve it elsewhere, and then try to siphon more money out of the consumer. So not only are they dragging their own name down, now it's like, oh, another Star Wars game? Oh, cool! I can now, you know, not only do I have to spend $60 plus tax on the game, but I can worry about spending another $60 plus tax or even more just to even have the full experience on it.
True. Good point. So, I have some breaking news that affects all of us about Star Wars.
Do I need to sit down for this?
Yes, I'm glad.
Micah,
I'm glad
are you
you're-
sitting down?
I'm glad you're sitting down because, as we speak, a new season of Forces of Destiny is now on YouTube. Season 2.
Yeah, Luke's in it.
How's your
Yes.
sister?
I should bring-
Yeah, I saw it already.
I should wear cheap
Yeah,
sunglasses
bring
next time so I could just take it and
Yeah.
fucking break it off of my face.
I love it.
And Sarah's face just melted off.
Because of that or because of
he's
me?
cheering.
Because of why?
It's cute.
Why?
Y'all talk about it. Talk about
No.
it. Yeah, that'll be fun.
I mean, it's cute, but it's why? Why?
It, I think it's something different. I mean, we like watched like 10 episodes that one day. It was just playing.
I was
Uh-huh.
cringing the whole time.
I was like,
You're just enamored, just taking it all in. I think it has its place. I think it does.
the garbage.
I was about to say, yeah, in the fucking trash can, dude.
It's canon.
How many views does it have? Look it up on YouTube.
It's not canon because we've seen plenty of things where, like, certain events happen, and it wouldn't make sense in the storyline.
Yeah.
Such as?
Kit Kat.
Oh, it's yours? I don't remember. I
You
remember
don't
having it
remember?
on, and I watched it long enough to be like, this is bullshit, and didn't happen, or couldn't have happened.
It's only been out for like 6
The
months.
rations, the Ewok rations, where they don't eat the stormtroopers anymore.
Oh, okay. I expected more views. It doesn't have that many views. Oh, is this the new season? It is the new season.
So anybody wants or likes Forces of Destiny, head over to YouTube. Season 2's out
You can go waste your
now.
time.
Yeah.
they also have it on the Star Wars website.
Yes.
That's where I saw
And-
it
And
first.
well, we watched it on demand on
Yeah.
DirecTV.
And I'll give it
Lots
to
of places to
Yeah.
watch it.
and I'll give it to. I mean, Nate says Force of Destiny is for children. I mean,
Yeah.
I completely
They're
get that.
Call me a
drawing in
child.
new viewers.
Nate's calling you a child then. And I mean, and that's what. I mean, just because they release something Star Wars doesn't mean I have to watch it.
Of course.
You know, I just.
And I think
just,
that's why they're putting out so much to give everybody who likes
Yeah,
Star
and
Wars.
there's nothing wrong
and
with that.
and that's fine if I get a goddamn rated R Star Wars film with the
think
Game of
they're gonna-
Thrones guys.
I think they're gonna
If I
work
see
on it.
rated R, then I will rescind every word, every bad word I ever said about Force of Destiny.
Okay.
You heard it here.
Until-
I'll take it back.
Until now, until then,
I'm gonna dump on that motherfucker.
how about this?
I'm gonna talk so much shit about
If
it.
they do put out a rated R Star Wars movie,
Oh, I could only hope.
then our team, however many seasons there are, will do an entire episode of just watching Forces of Destiny.
Why?
Yes!
That's taking an extreme. I said I'd rescind the bad things I said.
Rated R is not extreme for Star Wars?
But
You're
what's
talking
wrong
about
with that?
Forces
They
of
have
Destiny
doubles.
now.
It's-
And I'm talking
that means
about-
That means like for children.
What are you saying?
3-year-olds.
Yeah.
You're saying
Yeah.
Not
you
you,
will not
but it's
rescind
like that it is
Okay.
that it's
And then
garbage
when
Yeah.
girls would get
until they
into
make a
it,
rated R.
Yeah.
Well, it's easy for me to say that all the feedback that probably these
It's
rated R
so
movies,
cheesy.
should they come out, people will probably be talking about, why are you going to make a rated R movie? My kids can't watch it.
Good.
Like
Keep your kids
there's
out of
gonna
the
be
theater.
there's gonna be negative shit against that.
Yes.
You know, so I will stop bad what I'm saying, but I'm just simply saying that doesn't mean I have to watch that garbage.
Should there be age restrictions on like Forces of Destiny also?
Yeah.
Like, if you're over the age of 30,
If you have
you cannot watch
if you
this.
pay taxes, you can't watch
You
this.
can't watch
You
this.
can vote.
That includes the
Don't
people.
You can't watch
That
it.
includes the
Not don't. You cannot.
Yeah.
No.
Cannot.
rated T.
Please.
Star Wars won't happen. Well, good thing 'cause I'm looking for rated R, bro.
The burn.
You can get like a rated
Okay.
T drama Star Wars series.
Like
I thought TV and for teen.
Yeah, like that.
Like the games are rated
Pretty
T.
Little Liars.
Guitar Hero
Star
is rated.
Are what? Are you insane?
I
Yes.
don't know.
Huh? Who is that?
No, he put R rated T, and I said I don't know what this rated T is. And he just put R, and I was like,
Pretty Little Liars version of
"Are
Star
you
Wars."
joking?"
Maybe we can have
Yeah.
like a Saved by the Bell.
That's cheesy.
That would
That's
be so cheesy.
Like that.
You know
I
what?
like it. Yeah.
And now I think,
Dawson's Creek of
They come with their
Morris.
lunch tray.
and now,
At the cantina.
and now we've come to a point. Mark Hamill even said he's worried that they're doing too much.
Yeah, well, because he can't be in all of it.
He's like,
That's
no
why.
way.
That is not why.
That is why.
Did you hear him complaining
Well,
that he wasn't in episodes 1 through 3?
He's worried for the franchise that they're doing too much.
How could he be in episodes 1 through 3?
I saw there was
That doesn't even make sense.
exactly, but he couldn't have been in them, and that's what his argument
Where
is.
was that? What was that?
I'll have to find it. It was an article. I think it was on MovieWeb.
Move?
MovieWeb. Like I saw it somewhere, but it was saying that Mark Hamill was concerned that they're putting out too much.
And my retort to that is, I wish that they just put out as much as possible,
Top of
and you watch
Split.
and ingest the things that you like. I think it's better that way. You know, Marvel.
But if they don't come out with a
DC
rated R, then that's
has
bullshit.
done that since the 1940s.
Yeah, and let's.
They'll pump out as much as they can.
And we're-
like me,
And where has DC gone?
DC, I think, is still moving strong, especially
Trash is what
with
it
their,
is.
No.
With their
They have
animated
better
movies.
animated movies.
That's what
animated
we're
Talking about the
shows.
movie.
They have
No,
better
no,
comics.
I'm talking about
They have
the
better
movie.
comics.
Yeah.
They have better artwork. Dude, it's just better all around, except for their movies.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying pump out as much as you can, and I'll ingest what I want. Like for me, like Tim said, the animated movies are better than the movies that they put out in the theaters, and that's what I watch. And if they stopped making those, I probably wouldn't even have anything to do with DC.
I like.
I get no.
okay.
I get
Yeah.
that, but what I'm saying is there's more people watching the movies that come out of the theaters versus the animated ones.
You
And I know
sure?
you're gonna say some of the I'm pretty sure, yeah.
You're pretty sure.
Well, if it's in the
There
goddamn
are
data
more-
banks, then I want to
there-
hear it.
There are more. Well, I don't know.
I know.
Are you still talking?
Let's
Are you
take a
still?
chill pill.
Are you still talking about DC or are you talking about Star Wars?
Talking about DC.
Okay, so there are more animated movies.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
There are more animated movies than there are motion
Wait,
pictures
we're gonna-
I understand that. I get that.
because of their popularity.
But does it really mean that a lot of the people were watching that
I think
over
so.
the one? You think so now.
I
Now you
think
can't
so.
prove your point.
Yeah, well, that's hard to say. Well, if you, like, you compare, like,
Because anime, even then, anime still is very not as watched in comparison to everything else. I'm not saying anime is bad. I'm just
She
saying.
snapped her face at you.
I'm just saying if you. I'm quite sure if you were to ask people, you're going to get more people saying, "No, I watch stuff at the theaters versus watching anime on TV or anything." And that's kind of the same. And I'm not. Anime is
it's hard to release animation
Kind of
as
that-
something theatrical.
Unless you're
my point.
unless
That's
you're
exactly my
overseas.
point.
Yeah.
More people are tied into the theatrical releases, the actual movies coming out of theaters
In North
versus an
America.
animated. Well, I'm not speaking for Japan right now.
Ooh, there's fans all over the world.
Where are we living at?
Right now, the Alamo House is doing the Ghibli thing for all month.
Alamo House does a bunch of weird shit. I don't like Alamo Draft House, so you don't like Alamo Draft House, so I don't want to hear you pull from that shit.
I thought Century was doing it. Century?
I know they were.
There was an advertisement.
This is like a 30th anniversary or something for that.
Jubilee? Are we talking about the X-Men character? Jubilee?
I don't know what that is.
Oh.
No, Ghibli is the company that
I was about to say, I was like, I don't think that's what he's talking about, Luke.
they do.
Oh, okay.
They work with Disney to do animation here, or they dub and everything for us here.
Oh, nice. I like it.
Nate's, just to make sure that we're still entertaining Nate. You can never have too much Star Wars. Okay. Marvel has been going on for 10 years and still going strong. Yes. Marvel is about to destroy DC with the animated Spider-Man movie. I just recently heard about that. That actually looks interesting. I think it's releasing in December. I think they're covering, what's his name? Mike Morales?
Mm-hmm. No, not Mike. It
Not
is,
Mike? I don't remember.
it's a Morales, so I forgot his
Morales,
first name.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually interested in seeing
Miles.
that.
The
Miles.
Spider-Man
Miles,
game
okay.
too, Nate.
Yeah.
That Spider-Man game is awesome.
That's what, I don't know. I just think that the more they put out, the better it is for the fans. And now, if you're a fan, like I always say, if you're a fan and you don't want to watch Forces of Destiny, you don't have to, because there's a movie. But if you don't like Forces of Destiny, you don't like the movies, there's a comic book. You don't like the Forces of Destiny, you don't like the movies, you don't like the comic books, there's the game.
Hallie makes a point. She said, "What about Disney animated movies? They get tons of popularity in all age groups, dude.
That's true.
Toy Story."
Moana.
But not all the Disney movies are connected to one another. They're not in the
Still,
same
she's
universe.
got a
Well,
point, though.
now,
It's still animated.
not necessarily true, because they're saying that the jungle, not the jungle, but what was it? Tarzan connects to.
Okay, but you're talking about one movie may connect to another movie may connect to another. You may even have one movie connect to a couple others. But the whole span of the movies are not all interlinked together.
Well, if you watch them in the correct order, I think they could be, couldn't it? Wouldn't be one gigantic movie. What if Disney's animated movies were all one gigantic movie?
It's supposed to be. So most of them I hear is all in one universe.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's in
all
one-
interconnected,
Yeah.
the characters.
Okay, but we haven't seen that proven yet,
Well,
with the
there's-
exception of your few connections.
There's videos on it where all these Easter eggs connect these worlds or connect the movies
Oh, yeah,
That might
I heard
happen.
about
That
Or
might
just
have
in
happened
different,
something
like,
as of late, though.
in different timelines.
That
No,
may have happened
it's been
some-
going on since they've hit it big with Toy Story, dude. They're all connected.
Whatever. I mean, I don't know whether the proof is behind that.
I will
but-
give you proof soon.
Wow.
Soon.
The proof is in the pudding, right?
and there is no
Ew.
pudding,
I don't
so
approve of my pudding.
How can you have any pudding?
Yeah,
you gotta eat your meat.
Very nice.
Oh,
We don't need no chicken.
I thought you said no chicken. I was like, what?
Chicken.
They chicken.
yeah.
So, we could go one of two directions right now.
Yeah.
No.
And the Honorable Judge Goolsby will decide the fate of the rest of this podcast.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Judge
Let's
Goolsby,
do this. Yep.
we're going to talk about Meryl Streep.
We can talk about Meryl Streep.
Or
They're liberal propaganda novel.
we
I
can,
just.
or we can talk about the top 10 moments and debate upon that for The Last Jedi. We will leave that judgment.
Meryl
Hell,
Streep.
true.
We're gonna go Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep.
All right.
Jesus.
Well, we don't have to go that hardcore into it.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's fun.
No, we're getting to a fight.
Yeah, we're just throwing it.
I know. When have you ever said that?
Hereby, the Honorable Judge Goolsby presiding over the
You need a
next
gavel. At least
topic.
use your
Yeah,
pen.
you can.
You just listen to me, a convicted felon. No,
Oh my god.
Okay.
So, Honorable Judge Goolsby, will you please let the fans know what we're
Yes.
going to be talking / debating?
So there is, I guess, speculation, right?
Mm-hmm.
That
Rumor?
it is rumored that Meryl Streep will take over playing Leia
For
for
episode,
episode
9.
9. Yeah.
And would y'all like to take the opening statement, argument, whatever?
Let's hang on.
Let's
Let's
just
set
dispense
time.
with the formalities with this. Or just
'Cause
say your
go.
piece.
Okay, but you're limited to 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Wait, what side are...
2 minute
I need-
opener.
We're the ones
I
that we
need
don't want to see it.
2
He's trying to yell that he's.
Oh my
2
god.
weeks.
And he wants to make the argument against us, saying that Meryl Streep should be in it.
Oh, man, I can't do this. I'm on both sides.
Okay.
Do I
Useless
fight on both
again.
All right. Y'all have 2 minutes for your opening statements, and then like 15
Meryl
Opening
Streep.
statements.
for yes.
Meryl Streep doesn't belong in Star Wars. Statement.
Cool.
Meryl
All
Streep is not
right.
Carrie Fisher.
He's done.
Okay, you guys.
Well,
That didn't take me. That was great.
They haven't even talked to an hour. Smell that? It's like bullshit. No.
No.
I was going to say I smell like chicken. I mean, I smell
That's what it smells like. You say, I smell chicken.
I didn't mean to say that.
Write that down. She smells like chicken
Sarah.
and CGI puppets.
Honorable Judge Goolsby, will you please sniff her and see if she smells like chicken?
I can affirm, I smell Tyson.
I don't smell like chicken all the time.
All the time. This is disgusting.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Hallie.
No,
I see your words
chicken
of
right
support.
Nate said street
Like popcorn
rumors
chicken or
superstition.
rotten chicken?
Oh my god.
Like pork chicken?
Ugh.
Oh.
Okay,
Aw.
opening statement.
Opening statement. For
Tim.
you guys.
You want to go first?
I don't know how to begin.
No. It's not him go first. Y'all get
Wait,
the
so-
opening
So
statement.
Ryan Johnson ended the movie with Princess Leia. She's still alive, right? So they have to continue the story, and they can either A, kill her off at the beginning of the first movie, B, she lives on, and someone's going to have to play her, and Meryl Streep is going to be the one to do it if it's going to be any woman out there. And
But if it's a guy.
C,
He
I see.
Oh my god.
He was like, "You fucked up, dude."
What's the word for the gender thing? I forgot what it's called.
Gender neutral.
Yeah, there you go. Or C.
So Marilyn Manson. Continue.
Shit, you made me lose my train of thought. Fuck, I had it.
Well,
Anyway, it'll come back to me. But yeah, so I think. So C, they've already recorded scenes with her before she passed for this new movie. So, and I don't think that happened. So they're gonna have to put someone in there to continue the story.
I think that's a good opening statement. Good job, Tim.
I already have an overstatement. Meryl Streep does not belong in Star Wars, especially as Carrie Fisher. That's mine.
Why
Why?
not? Hey, I'm a judge.
I'm done,
Ooh.
Tim.
Why not?
Judge got this.
Yeah.
Judge Jermaine's got
Carrie
this.
Fisher.
Because Carrie Fisher is Princess Leia.
She is the
And
princess.
she even says it's like a Mobius striptease. They're like one and the same. So no one is going to be playing her. No one should be playing her. Period. They even said it themselves. They said that they wouldn't. I thought they said that they wouldn't have someone
That's a
cast
cop
as
out,
her.
Nate.
What do you say?
Fast forward and have a funeral scene, have her die.
Thank you, Nate.
That's cop
But
out.
I mean, they already said that they weren't going to CGI her or a puppet.
No,
But they already confirmed that. But even before episode 8 came out
That wasn't puppet,
by
by
a
the way.
few months.
They just CGI'd around it. Okay, keep going.
What? Aw. Shut
Anyway.
up. God.
And as much as
Y'all lose. Just being douchebags.
You can't mess with the judge.
and as much
I should have waited till after.
Yeah.
yeah, and as much as not CGI, you're not going to CGI her because it would be like tarnishing her memory. Isn't getting another actress the
They did like
same?
Tarkin, dude. Tarkin CGI was amazing.
That was great. I give you that too. And they even it's like I guess agreed upon that the one that they did for Leia herself in Rogue One was good too. But they didn't even consult with her about it. And they already said that they weren't going to do CGI. So they're not going to do CGI of her because it would be like tarnishing her memory. And it wouldn't be even good for the cast there. Wouldn't replacing her by someone else be the same move?
If they did it
It's
in
taking
her
away
honor,
from her.
You know, like what
They're
Izzy
still
brought
doing
up with
it, though.
Dumbledore when he died. The guy was like, well,
That's something different. And on
let
top
me
of that,
step into the role.
that's
you
something
know?
different. And that's also, that was going into what, the third movie or the second movie?
The second
Second
movie.
movie.
So you had another 7 movies coming.
Yeah.
Or another 6 stories that eventually turned into 7 movies. This, she was already kind of at the end anyway. They already have, and as you've mentioned before,
Yes.
and as you mentioned before, I think they do have some scenes that they shot with her that they probably held back so they could possibly use that in the next film. But replacing her in any fashion, CGI, another person, having Meryl Streep replace her, having Meryl Streep replace her with CGI on top of it to make it look more likened to her is still taking away from her, is still tainting her. And I don't think it's right. I just don't think so. And especially because they even said it.
One of the things that
It's
that
not
I was
situation,
thinking is that
yeah. This one's true.
Carrie Fisher did put out a biography called Postcards from the Edge. It was made in the 80s about her and her mother. And the person who played Carrie Fisher in this autobiographical film was Meryl Streep. So she has kind of...
In the 80s? Judge,
Yeah.
what year is it?
Well, that's...
Okay, I just want to check. I just want to check.
Too.
I just want to make sure I'm in the right
She
setting.
aged as well too. The year.
But
the
if
year.
okay, so
They
Carrie
aged
Fisher
not as the
did
same.
this documentary or
Autobiography.
autobiographical
As the same.
thing, and chose Meryl Streep to play herself
She already chose her?
in the autobiographical
that.
thing.
You said it was
She
from
was
the
worthy
80s.
enough. to
Yeah.
play
From
her.
the 80s.
But she chose.
I think
her.
we can
She
all
was
agree she looks
chosen.
greatly different from episode 4 through 6 than what she looked like in
But
episode
there's no
7.
Yeah, but I mean, Meryl Streep didn't look like Carrie
There's
Fisher
no
at all,
difference.
ever.
Yeah.
Okay, so then why
I
are
don't
we
think-
saying it's okay now?
Carrie. Like,
In the 80s!
And
30
that's-
years ago.
Yeah, and that's because
30 years ago.
I know she wasn't even at her prime then. Imagine Streep now.
And I think if they did...
Because she
They
has
don't-
more words?
I don't think they would have to use CGI, but I think if they did a little bit of makeup, like prosthetic, on her, I think she would be able to pull it off. You would probably still tell that was Meryl Streep, but I think that she could fill in that role very well.
I'm not saying that she couldn't do a good job at least patching them together. I'm not saying that she couldn't do good the role in itself. But I'm just simply saying is that she's not Carrie Fisher,
No, she's not.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We would know that she's not Carrie Fisher, even if they did CGI, even if they did someone else to have CGI on
She's
top
not
of
Carrie
that
Fisher.
to look very similar to Carrie Fisher what she was in episode 8. We still know that she's not Carrie Fisher. And on top of that, they've already discussed that they were not going to do that. So what makes any of that okay?
They
I,
discussed. It wasn't confirmed.
No,
Just-
they actually said it.
That-
No, Lucasfilm came out and said that they weren't going to do that. They usually don't comment on any rumors coming out, but they came out and they made sure they said that because enough people were upset.
That they
Even
were
the
there.
cast and the crew were upset, saying we're not going to do that.
Did
We're
you
not going
watch
to do that to her. Even then, it's way too soon, and they were going to affect that.
Yeah.
Yeah, digitalizing, I don't think so, but recasting, I think that's a big positive. I think they
Recasting
would do
for
that.
a character that doesn't have much life in the story anyway?
Mhm.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I think a lot of fans are going to dismiss it and get
You have
pissed
to go
off
out with
about
a
it.
bang, dude. You gotta go out bigger than.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's why Ryan Johnson had another fuck up for episode 8. He knew what he had. He probably has way more scenes to work with, and he could at least take it in a different direction that could have patched that up. And then now J.J. Abrams is forced to make the decision.
Would seeing Meryl Streep playing the Leia role take you out so much out of episode 9, more so than Leia's, like you quote unquote, Superman scene? Would that take you more out of the movie than that scene?
Yeah.
Yeah. So much so that you would not watch Star Wars anymore?
I would rather they just not talk about Leia, period. If she's not there.
But let's say it did happen.
But she's not Leia.
Would you still
Yeah.
watch it?
You just say, yeah.
Would you still watch it?
Well, of course I would still watch it, but it doesn't mean I would agree with it. Doesn't mean
Yeah.
I would think it'd even be the right thing.
Yeah.
And even then, that's going to be
Let's
for the
say
scope of a
she-
movie.
Let's say she did a better job
Yes.
than Carrie Fisher.
Can you do a better job than the person who actually had that role?
Mm-hmm.
She would do a better job.
She's not that person, so that depends upon your definition.
She can do.
Just because she has awards doesn't mean that she's a better person than the person that they were themselves.
She may not be a better person, but she's a better actress. So she can play the role better than any other woman out there.
Okay, I'll put it to you like this.
She can play Leia better than Fisher can.
I'll put it to you like this. If I were to star as myself in an autobiography movie, even though my acting could be shit, someone could come in and have way better acting than me. Let's just say Jonah Hill in this case, because I've gotten that likeness character from Superbad. Is Jonah Hill really going to be able to act better than me in my own autobiography?
Probably.
And that goes to show.
Yeah.
But how would he if he's not me? The same case in point.
Yeah.
You know Charlie Chaplin placed third in the Charlie Chaplin lookalike contest?
Yeah.
So then how that goes to show that's bullshit. Just because someone is a better actor doesn't mean they're not the same person. Because that person is made up by also
There's some-
what is it?
I don't have any sources.
It's imperfections. I don't know.
I don't have any sources, but I have seen some documentaries or even shorts where actors or actresses will say, "Yeah, they played a better person. They played a better me than I could have in whatever biography it is." Like it's happened before.
Do you understand the paradox in saying that though?
There is a paradox, but even within that paradox, it still is a truth.
I'm telling all-star actors can act better than the person themselves.
But what do you define as better?
I'm just saying, Carrie Fisher plays Princess Leia. She's not Princess Leia though. She's acting as Princess Leia.
No. I completely understand that. But what I'm saying is that what we see on the film now isn't Princess Leia. We see Carrie Fisher's Princess Leia. We see what Carrie Fisher has turned that role
That's a
into.
fallacy because you're saying we when it's just you right now.
No, we've all seen it. Would you not agree
Wow.
that she's taken that role and made it her own?
You can speak for some people, yes.
I would say yes.
Yes or no? No, you
But
yourself. I'm asking you. Are you
if-
saying
if-
that Carrie Fisher in episode 7 and episode 8 and episode 6 and episode 5 and
If
episode
she was
4,
writing the script, yes. But she has not written script for Star Wars.
so they still have their own things that they add to it, their own things that own that role to make it their own.
I don't know, because on the deleted scenes and bonus footage, I just saw Ryan Johnson tell Leia, or Carrie Fisher, I need you to move your hand up more to your chin like this.
That's a direction that he wanted to see the character do, and an action seeing the character do it. But it doesn't mean that it makes her less of what it is because it's his vision. And I've already
his
made
vision.
it's his
not
vision.
hers.
The movie itself doesn't mean it's right even then. Because I think there are a lot of inadequacies in episode 8. So his vision's already flawed. Yeah.
It's not flawed. He just took it in a different direction. And that direction may lead us to Meryl Streep ending up being Princess Leia. I think that segment is over.
Yeah,
Right? That was intense.
that was.
Judge Goolsby, I don't.
Let me read what the jury has to say.
Okay. The jury panel.
Yeah.
Or you have the judge read the jury with the jury.
Okay.
Starting with
CGI.
Oh, yeah.
Nate.
It's okay.
He took.
I can't read it.
Nate,
It's
if
okay.
they do another way, if they do it any other way besides a peaceful death, the fans with Leia, fans will be in an uproar, not happy, and fake nuts. What is it?
Fake news.
Fake
Fake
news.
nuts. Fake nuts.
I saw it too.
That's what I should put in my little
Uh,
my trail mix.
Fake nuts.
Fake news.
Oh my god.
There's only Dane says yes. There's only one Leia, and then Amanda says any character can be replaced by another actor, but it doesn't mean it will have the same connection or effect with the audience.
Where are you
And,
reading that?
On the chat?
Oh, because he doesn't have that.
okay. Well, and then Nate says.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Well, too bad.
Oh, that's an iPhone. That's right.
Shows on my iPhone.
Okay.
Yeah, uproar in 8 was caused by old fans who can't let go, and then Dane said exactly, and in this case, it would ruin the character.
So the jury has some back and forth
I
as well.
know.
There's some
Yeah.
yes,
Really
there's some
start-
no.
Okay.
Do you want a closing statement,
So-
Micah? Or do you need to hear a closing
Yeah, I
statement?
mean,
or
if y'all have them prepared.
for what, 30, 20 seconds?
20. Yeah. Go. Closing statement. 3, 2, 1.
Carrie Fisher's dead. Meryl Streep is not Carrie Fisher. We can agree on this. And an actor may be able to play a role. Don't. It's my closing statement. I'm playing. An actor may be able to play with the director's vision of that character better than the person who had done it. But as even mentioned on here, the connection that he developed, the rapport and everything, it's still going to be completely different. And it's not going to be the character that it was before. Even they may have the same name, the same likeness, but it's still not the same person. It takes away from the authenticity, and you're going to be looking at the character saying, yeah, it's Leia, but it's not.
Okay.
They're gonna be saying, yeah, it's Leia, but it's better.
I
Sorry.
agree.
You are really going to say that to Star Wars fans, that Meryl Streep does a better Leia than
Yes.
the one who made
My
Princess Leia
closing
who she is.
Is. And
How
I
do
know
you
you
feel
already
about that? I wanna know.
covered part of it already, but multiple Academy Awards for Best Actress in any film, whatever film she's in, Best Actress, she's beaten multiple actresses in.
And
That's
to,
how you feel?
To ride your tailcoats on that, Tim, and it's not just for a certain role or a certain kind of person. I mean, she's spanned from, one end of the spectrum to the other on what kind of roles she's taken and gotten awards for. So she could be able to fit into any role she takes.
Any role.
And I think she could possibly
And win an Oscar for the Star Wars.
and finally bring the Oscar back to the Star Wars franchise.
Bullshit argument. Let's choose.
Closing statement.
Let's
Done.
Okay, no, that's done. But as she thinks about this, let me comment two things.
Well,
You're gonna
let
bring her
let
into the
just-
goddamn franchise. You're gonna bring her into the franchise
Okay.
just so I need to say it or I'm
I
gonna
guess
forget
it's not
it.
closing.
It's not.
Well, can I
I'm-
make my
I'll bet that
decision
Streep
first?
sympathizes.
Well, if I
with
forget what I'm
October.
saying, I'm gonna
Well,
be
write
upset.
it
Write it
down.
down. Write it down. Write it down. Write it down.
Yeah. Okay.
Dane said, I'll bet that Street sympathizer loved Holdo too.
Okay.
I loved her hair.
I loved her hair too.
See, I'm
Thank
already
you.
fucking forgetting. You guys suck.
Way to go. Okay.
I need a strong
Ready?
woman.
Okay.
Meryl
Ready?
Streep
Wait.
is the strongest
Judgment
woman.
has come
I know.
in.
So, I'm not doubting Daryl Streep.
Daryl.
Daryl. Is this the Walking Dead?
Daryl.
Get your crossbows out.
She plays so many diverse roles. She can play a guy now.
Let me try that
All right,
again.
CGI puppets, continue.
Meryl Streep's talent. I know she's a good actress. She's won so many awards. But I agree with them. There's no way you can replace Leia. I'm sure she could play Leia a lot better. Well, but there's no replacing Carrie Fisher. Not even a little bit. Not a chance. And even if they did have her, I think you would lose so many fans. Not nobody would watch it, but significantly less people would watch it because it's not Carrie Fisher. And it's not disrespecting Carrie Fisher by having somebody else come into the role. it's not going to be the same. It would be like having Luke played by, I don't know, Sean Connery or something. Like having Luke played by Sean Connery or something.
I would
It's
love
not.
that too.
It's not going to be the same.
Your favorite scene wouldn't be the
So-
same anymore. Your twin son scene.
Your mother.
Okay.
Thank you for your judgment.
Yeah.
That was really good.
I got.
That was
Oh,
very
Thank you.
oh stressful.
Sarah,
Good.
Sarah,
I smell like chicken now.
You smell like chicken?
But I do want to add real
Same
quickly
Yes, go ahead.
to bring Meryl Streep in
Chick-fil-A?
just to simply get an award for the film
A1 chicken.
itself is a fucking sellout, and
Yeah.
that's shit. Secondly, if you want to talk about Meryl Streep getting all these, I'm still. You said I could say it after you're done,
Yeah.
so you're done. I'm talking. You're no longer the
I already
honorable
sided with
bullshit,
you, so just
and I'm still not one. Okay. And secondly, that's a bullshit argument too, because how many
You're the
awards?
judge. Throw him out.
no, get out of here.
She's not the judge
Right.
Get
anymore.
out of here. I decided.
And real
So shut up.
quickly, the Academy is biased. How many awards should have Leo have gotten already? And he's only gotten one.
We're like 80.
Make an argument for that.
Disney would love the platform. Would love for Streep to walk up there.
What are you even talking about anymore?
Hold on. No, I'm saying Disney would love Streep to walk up on stage and use. I don't want to. That's actually kind of bad, but
Yeah, just say it.
the death of Carrie Fisher
To their advantage.
when she wins the award
Oh.
to her advantage, like. Because you know how she is. You said it earlier yourself. Like go up there for her liberal propaganda. She would go up there,
They're
and
eager to-
and if Disney likes her point of view, because Disney is not just about. I mean, they're about family. They're about bringing people together, but they're also about politics. That's how it all started, with I think Roosevelt.
pushing the agenda.
Yeah. So I think that if they agree with her views and what she says on stage like that, they would have her come in and do that role.
Ironically enough, look what's right over your shoulder.
She's looking at you, and she's firing lasers out of her eyes because she's mad. But I think I understand what you're saying. I do. But getting her just for the concept of maybe we can pull an Oscar is a sellout move, and even
But
Dame.
I'm saying it's more than that.
Even
It's
Dame, but
more than that.
hold on a second. But
It's
even
a better
Dame says it
layup,
here.
It's an Oscar. It's propaganda.
Star Wars
It's all-
isn't about big actors. You know how for all these movies they've picked the less known actor or actress to portray these roles,
It's Star Wars
so
is
they
about-
know them as the
Star Wars
roles,
is
not as
about
someone
the-
else.
Right. The Star Wars is about the story.
So then
and
why are
your
you going to bring in a
characters.
big name
Because
actress
she's gonna
just to
play-
get an award?
She's going to play a better character.
You know, I disagree because
With who?
Billy D is a big actor.
Even back then,
Oh yeah,
at that time.
yeah, Colt 45, baby. Yeah, that's
Okay,
why, that's
so
why
I hear an
that's why
exception. Okay,
That's why they pulled Alec Guinness also to play the role of Obi-Wan, because he was a big actor.
but he wasn't the
time.
front runner. He wasn't one of the main characters
What?
that they focused around. Okay, you look at episode 5, 4, 6. You're following Luke. You're following Leia. You're following Han. You're not following Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan.
That's true. That's very true.
For these main roles, they've always been about finding that person that's less well known.
Yeah.
That might even be why the guy they picked for Han Solo is because he's not as well known. And so they can take someone that they think would be good for the role that may have good talent. I'm glad that someone laughed at something.
Yeah.
Eddie died in the first 10
I
minutes.
was
I wanted to say that, but he had a force ghost shit, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, it's never been about that, and I will be so disappointed that I'm not saying I'm not going to watch their movies, but I will be highly disappointed in Star Wars moving forward if that was a movement that they chose to do, is to bring in an actor like that or an actress like that for the whole benefiting factor of maybe we can get some notoriety and get an award out of this.
How dare you? How dare you?
Have an opinion?
No. How dare you presume her gender like that?
You know what? I'm sure she would probably have the same fucking argument.
Oh man.
I was just messing with you, bro.
No, I know.
So,
No, I'm not.
Thank you.
I'm just saying shit right
Judge
now.
Goolsby,
Yeah.
that was a great call. I know it was hard for you,
Yeah.
but very intense.
Well, yeah.
But I think
Ooh, Jessica Lange.
I think it was a good judgment actually. Yeah, even though I was on the opposing side.
I mean, I want to like ask honestly, outside of the debate now, we're
Uh-huh.
done, we're done. Would you see it? Would you
I would see it, but I think
have
it would.
the same like
I don't
butterfly feeling like, oh, it's good.
No,
Oh my
I-
god, it's sensitive.
Yeah,
You know?
no, it would feel much different.
It
for
would-
me. And I'm just
it would just be
hoping.
off.
I'm hoping that they have footage of her somewhere that they can
At
use
least enough to get to
where.
the end for her.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
she's kind of tight,
So that's my opinion. Outside of the debate.
Outside of
Yeah. Mhm.
just, I mean,
Yeah.
Good thing we didn't hear that inside
that was a
of it.
hard, I mean, that was difficult to argue though.
Yeah, it was. It was. I thought we brought up some good points.
Yeah, that was good.
Tim was really good opening statement. So, I was thinking maybe for our last 20 minutes, we're gonna have another kind of tough one.
Is that the one we were talking about?
We could talk about, and why don't we let Micah pick this one? We could either talk about our top 10 Last Jedi moments, or we can do a what if, like, what if George Lucas
She was
would have started with episode 1, The Phantom Menace, instead of A New Hope, and where the franchise would have gone from there. What would y'all rather talk about? Let's let the girls pick.
I like how he said he's gonna let me.
This one.
I like how he said he's gonna let me pick, and then
Okay,
he
so
turns
it's
it to.
50-50, because Izzy wants to do the top 10.
I don't know
wanna
any,
do
like,
this.
actors or
Okay,
actresses.
Clint Eastwood.
The song, like where the girl is.
No, that's a person.
We weren't even
That's a good
talking
song,
about
though.
that though.
What are you talking about? Yeah, that's this.
No, he's
Yeah.
talking about the what if
You
he
were,
would have
okay,
started.
this question would have branched into
Yeah.
those.
Yeah,
So-
that question branches into this other stuff.
Why the fuck is Goldie Hawn on here then?
Who's that?
Well, because she's an actress from that.
You don't know who Goldie Hawn is?
That's why I asked why is she on here.
Oh,
Because
Jessica Lange is the.
I'm aware
lady
who
that played
that nasty woman is.
I'm telling Izzy.
who would have
She's the lady in
American Horse
American
Story.
Horse.
I
I
missed
want to get beat up.
Always.
Um,
I know who Suzanne Summer is. That's it.
Sally Fields.
Jack Nicholson has been.
John Wayne.
Well, let's.
Woody Allen.
What do y'all what would roll with?
Justin
What would y'all rather do?
Hoffman.
Well, let's do a vote real quick,
Y'all want to do Cards Against Humanity?
or we could do that too.
You don't have time for that.
Wow.
There's not
Next
many
time.
cards.
There's not that many, but it's going to be tight because there's only like 40 white cards and there's 5 of us.
Yeah.
Why does that have to be
There's
white?
going to be 8
See, far.
We can do that
next time.
next time.
Okay.
So
I'm not gonna be able to save that what if though. So I mean, y'all can do what you want.
you gonna do the what if?
I just thought it was really interesting. I wanted to see his point.
Okay. Well, let's do that. I know you don't know some of these
I was just
actors
gonna
and
Google
actors.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, even then, I wasn't
You
talking.
share.
Well, even then, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wasn't
And John
talking about. I didn't realize you.
These are
Oh my
questions-
God.
Turn that
Watch
into
them
that.
first.
No. These are just
Yeah.
questions that I
Sylvester
kind of
Stallone
like
is Rambo and Rocky.
may come up, and so if they did,
Justin
this is
So
just,
you're tarnishing our what if? Man, we had a good start to what if.
yeah. Let's go. You start it off.
Isn't he on
Because it wasn't
Goodfellas?
who?
Justin Hoffman.
It's not on Goodfellas.
Oh.
No, that's Ray Liotta, right?
Yeah.
Is in Goodfellas.
Bad. What was it? Hot Baby. What did he say?
What?
From Rain Man.
Woody Allen was a director. Is a director. Is he still directing?
Justin Hoffman.
He's alive. I know
Justin
that.
Hoffman plays
Actor.
Captain Hook.
Yes. In
Look.
Good form, Peter.
Hook.
Good form.
Okay.
Disney live action movie that was great. Sorry.
Robert Redford. Robert Redford was in the original Great Gatsby. He was Gatsby, the blonde guy.
Yeah, the guy
You
should
didn't
be
see
like
the
dead
other
like
guy?
20,000
Damn
years
it.
I'm a
Okay.
music person.
All right, go.
Okay.
Okay, the one thing that I brought up to Lewis, and I just curious what y'all's opinion was.
Y'all too?
Once upon
Y'all too.
you two guys,
Not the ghosts. That he was pointing.
Yeah,
And-
we have to go.
not my
But
friends,
not them.
not my friends in the room.
Why are they?
So we had a what if question a while back that like what would have happened if Vader was like if Luke didn't jump in
Mhm.
Episode 5, What would have happened? Would Vader have killed him or not? So going into the second what if question that we were talking about, if George Lucas started from episode 1 going through 3, we wouldn't have known who Darth Vader was, right? So what would have happened if at the end, Revenge of the Sith, this whole high ground bullshit, Anakin successfully makes that maneuver, maims Obi-Wan, leaves him for dead, and then Obi-Wan has now an excuse to go hide on Tatooine, become a hermit, maybe have to live off of like robotics and stuff like that, and then now Darth Vader is just like
Intact.
is fully intact, badass Sith, suave, I guess, like Kylo Ren. Yes, I'm saying suave.
Suave?
Because that's something shit he would say. I'm just saying, like, what I guess, so basically where I'm getting at is...
I know, I think of like slick back hair.
The premise is what I'm getting at is like, what would happen if Anakin, I guess, successfully maneuvered the high ground scenario? Like, what would have happened to the franchise?
That's not this question.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He formulated that, and we don't have to talk about that. I just wanted to mention that, how people felt
It wouldn't
about
have
that.
been filled with as much hate as he had. I think him being on the ground, burning up like that, may have filled him with more anger. He wouldn't have been as angry if he had that chance to harm Obi-Wan.
And maybe so, until he finds out about his kids, and then he's even more pissed off.
I don't know. What do you think?
But the level of anger wouldn't be there.
Nate high ground bullshit.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Dane,
I think his...
no,
go for
sorry,
it.
no,
No,
I'm sorry.
you go.
I'm just reading
No.
comments.
What do you
Okay.
say?
Dane said he was a Jar Jar argument. I'm wondering if he's meaning like if he fulfilled the whole dark side
Oh, that. Yeah.
Sith Jar Jar shit.
Ah.
We can get on the second video. Say what you're gonna say.
Well, no, I don't think... I mean, I agree. He wouldn't be as evil. He wouldn't be as ruthless. Because, I mean, his best friend left him for dead. He was all burnt up. He didn't have any, limbs.
Mm-hmm.
That anger kind of goes on for him to want to take over the galaxy. If he was like, yeah, beat Obi-Wan.
But does
And
it?
his baby mama died.
Yeah.
But does it though? Because what we see in the end of episode 3 was he wasn't asking anything about Obi-Wan when he came to. He said, "Where's Padme?" And
Yeah.
because even then, something could have happened where Palpatine still could have convinced him, like, you killed her in your bit of rage, and he still would have been filled with that hate.
But
He-
he would
like-
have
But the reason he got
gone
so
to go see
mad-
Padme right after that. Right after he.
Yeah, but if Palpatine knew about that, like, he could have easily, like, destroyed her ship or something.
But the
He
reason
could have done
that he
something.
had that rage was because he thought Obi-Wan turned her against him.
He
Yeah,
had
too
that
much-
rage. No,
that's
he had
too
that
much-
rage because Padme was dead, and he thought it was at his hands.
That's what I'm saying.
That's,
That he got mad and he choked her. That's
He
the
remembers
rage.
that, yes.
Yes. So the reason that he choked her was because he thought Obi-Wan had tried to turn her against him. So that's why he was like, "Oh, you sided with him," that kind of thing.
Right, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, like, when he came about, being woken up as Darth Vader, he was mad not because of what Obi-Wan had done,
He was
but because he
awoken.
thought Padme was dead.
Because he thought Padme was dead. Padme was dead.
I understand that, but
Nathan
Padme was
says,
dead, but
what if Anakin didn't murder kids?
it had that scene, the end. He killed younglings
Never
and drank.
mind.
Do you see? I understand what
I
you're
see
I mean, I get
okay.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
But he would still have that rage, that factor. If she was, well, she.
Then how would he have killed her? That's what I.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is Palpatine somehow could have
Okay.
intervened? Because at that point, Palpatine was already on his way.
Was she already being protected?
Huh?
Was she being protected?
Mm.
Or she had the kids?
I guess she left with Obi-Wan after Obi-Wan finished Vader
Oh,
up.
that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause
She
when
was all
she-
passed
when
out
she-
on
Well,
the
you
island
never
because
s-
Anakin choked her.
They told.
I get that,
told
but you never
someone
see
to
him
get
picking
her.
her up.
But didn't someone else get her in the
Yes,
ship?
do.
No,
No,
they
didn't
don't.
he?
You don't.
You saying Anakin would have killed Padme right after?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that you're saying that he wouldn't be
It's
filled
so
with
bad.
hate
Yeah, I wouldn't have.
because Obi-Wan did that to him. And I said he was filled with hate because Padme was dead. What I'm just simply saying is that Palpatine was already on the way there. So maybe if he knew that and knew what the obstacle of what Padme was, Palpatine could have killed her and blamed it still on Anakin. So he would have still had that rage built up.
What do you think, man?
And that would have even made Palpatine even more sinister than what he is.
Yeah, I mean,
A little less likely, but...
yeah, because I think Palpatine had his own moment to turn to the dark side. You know what I mean? That, I mean, it's legends, but, you know, he has a sad story to go along with that. But yeah, I think if that would have been so, you know, I think, you know, Vader's interaction with Luke, I mean, Luke would have seen him more humanized than machine. Would that have swayed Luke to turn to the dark side and not have those moments of,
I like that point.
you know, well, this is my dad. You know, he looks like me. You know, I mean, I don't know if I mean, you see that over there, and you're like, holy shit.
That's
It's
not
like
that's not my dad. That's not a human. That's
yeah,
some goddamn
it's
monster.
in a mask.
Yeah.
Monster.
Yeah. No. I got it. I don't think anyone else picked up on it. Right? Ray's
But-
interrogation.
Um,
You know what I'm talking about? What are we talking about? Ray's interrogation with Kylo Ren in episode 7. You're just a monster in a mask, and he takes the mask off.
Like, take that
Ooh, he's
silly
even
thing
look
off.
better looking on the
Right.
inside.
so
Takes off. I'm sorry. I saw an edit where Snoke says, "Take that silly thing off," and then then it shows the scene where he's shirtless.
Oh shit!
he's off. Oh my god.
You know, terrible.
Wow. You know, I had a question along those lines, you know, and I kind of threw it out there where it's like, what if George Lucas would have started Star Wars with Episode 1 instead of Episode 4, and how would the saga have looked then? And that's kind of where I put in there, would Vader have lost to Obi-Wan Kenobi? Would we have seen Jar Jar Binks? What would he look like? Because you don't have that kind of CGI in the 70s. You know? With the clone.
Maybe there wouldn't be a Jar Jar.
Hmm?
Ooh, and there would have probably been a Chewie then.
Well,
There was already a Jar
there was a Chewie.
There's Chewie.
1, 2, but I mean not Chewie as we know, because he wouldn't have had the story of design already with Han in mind.
Yeah, that's true.
Because when I bring that up, is because Jar Jar was really his way to try to bring back Chewie to a newer audience.
Yeah, and I wonder what the Clone Wars would have looked like.
Yeah, I always just thought that's how it was. Like he did 4 through 6 because he didn't have the tech
Yeah.
for 1 through 3 on the massive scale of having the Clone Wars and
Yeah.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if that was ever right or confirmed by anyone, but I don't know why I've
Yeah.
always had that thought in my mind.
It makes more sense.
And this is a question I wanted to ask you guys. Maybe we can round table. So, what if George Lucas did Episode 1, 2, and 3 first, and then 3, 4, and 5 second, right? Would we now be talking about
4,
we
5, and
love
6?
these originals? I love 1, 2, and 3.
You
Those were the
dickhead! I
first
said
ones.
that to you. You're a son
Well,
of
that's why
Oh,
I put it
yeah.
down there. Yeah.
You're stealing.
I'm just reading. You
Stealing.
You read it. You read it.
You know, no, I'm done.
And
Just like,
would we hate the sequels? 4, 5, and 6.
Maybe.
because it's easier to hate sequels these days.
Yeah.
Or a period, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And then could the prequels have been made in the 80s? And that's what you just brought up right now. With the technology. Mm-hmm. What do y'all think?
I wouldn't like that.
I would have loved it if Luke was played, or if Vader was played by Burt Reynolds.
That big mustache?
He takes off the mask.
What the fuck, dude?
Chewing some gum?
Yeah, he's chewing gum at the same time.
So here,
You know, look, I'm your father.
so here's something to think about. Here's something to think about. If we flip those, if we
But they
flip,
don't know what you're talking about, dude.
What?
They don't know what you're talking about.
are you talking about smoking the bandit
Yeah.
bullshit? You talking about smoking the bandit bullshit?
No, it's
The band
I mean, if you've seen Saturday Night Live and Norm
Yeah.
Macdonald playing,
Oh,
Burt
okay.
Reynolds,
Never mind.
Yeah.
He like takes,
Oh,
he puts Burt Reynolds on, like,
oh,
in
okay,
the-
yeah.
the Jeopardy.
What did he say? Turd Ferguson.
Yeah. Oh my
But think
God.
about it. If we switch these, maybe we switch the characters themselves. Could Hayden Christensen have played a young Luke Skywalker?
Oh,
You know? Did you see what I mean there?
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe Mark Hamill would have been Anakin. I don't know. I don't know if I could see Mark Hamill doing an Anakin. But then again, I don't know if I can see Hayden Christensen being able to pull off a
his
simple
dialogue would've
farm
been
life, teen and Luke's character.
Yeah. Very true.
Like we would have probably completely seen completely different people, with the exception of Palpatine.
Yeah, right? Yeah, he would have been right on. So who would have played our main characters in episodes 1, 2, and 3 in that time frame? The 70s?
Well, that's going to be more so your era because I don't think.
is it weird that I would want to see
Or is this where you pull these people?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Sean Connery as Count Dooku?
Oh, that
Dude,
be,
that would
be
work.
really good, though. That would be really good.
My old friend.
Oh, my God. That'd be awesome.
God, I
Who would
would.
play Qui-Gon Jinn? Clint
Sylvester
Eastwood?
Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone?
Or Clint Eastwood, yeah, I could see Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, it would probably be. Yeah, I'm thinking more so Clint Eastwood. Or maybe even a Robert Redford.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see like you have John Wayne on here. I'm like, I don't see him doing anything.
He could be Yoda.
Huh? Voice Yoda?
The speech impediment that he has, sure.
Yeah.
You see here, but
Could be a young,
Oh, my God.
or young Dooku, I think.
Yeah. Who would play, not Palpatine, who would play Padme?
Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn?
Or Meryl Streep.
honestly,
That's really
looking
cute.
looking
like
at-
young Meryl Streep.
looking at this list makes me depressed to think of them anything in episodes 1 through 3.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm rethinking this whole what if scenario. I should have never said it. God damn it!
It's over. Oh my God.
I just want to.
Well, speaking of things that are over, this podcast is almost over.
Wow.
Wow, you just had to drop it.
What?
Who would have played Mace?
It's
Windu?
over,
I
Anakin.
put that on.
Billy D. I know. I see that.
Uh huh. Billy D.
You motherfucker.
I'm gonna slice you up, but first I'm gonna grab my coat 45.
God damn it. You are granted a seat at the council, but not the rank of master. Yeah, baby.
Oh my God. Incredible. Well,
That is incredible, man.
Meryl Streep as Leia. This company.
and Padme.
And Padme.
In that alternate universe.
Ugh, she's both. That's weird.
She could play both at the same time.
She's a mother.
Because she's
What if-
such a great actress
What
with
if-
so many
That girl-
fucking awards.
that
No,
girl with,
I'm
Tom
playing.
Hanks.
I'm playing. I'm playing.
Which one?
Tom Hanks could play Luke.
Mm-hmm.
What?
That'd be weird.
What if Tom Hanks played like a Qui-Gon?
That's what I was just thinking. Qui-Gon.
Yeah. He seems
if-
more
Young
that laid
Tom
back.
Hanks?
That more
You know
like
what?
Tom Hanks.
They
laid
need
back.
to make a Star Wars movie where Meryl Streep plays all the characters. Male, female, and aliens.
Oh
Is
my
it because she
God.
identifies that
Androids?
way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I'm looking at you, Tom. Is it because she she plays all these characters? No. She plays all these characters because she's a schizo.
Oh,
Not
that
cool.
Why are you laughing?
Not
That-
cool.
Because it could work like
No.
that.
that is a
Cool.
mentally.
You found that line again
Yeah.
from
Is
earlier.
that too?
Yeah.
That was over, like way over the line.
One step.
Why? It
was over
the
there.
line.
Why?
Cause not cool, bro.
You erased the line, stepped over it, and then drew another line behind yourself.
I still don't see the problem here. Let's see.
What do people struggle with?
No one's commenting on this.
They all left
Mm.
after your
They're all
statement.
really.
They haven't
uncomfortable.
commented since the whole. Wow, Nate said Anakin killing kids.
Izzy wanted to see that.
Maybe in the
Speak
rated R
up so I can
one.
hear you.
Maybe the deleted
Well,
scenes.
because they pushed Bran over.
Like, I want to see that so bad with that, the new Star Wars, like, VR thing. Like, I want to be able to pull the
Kid
lightsaber
killing?
and-
A kid killing section.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know if that would work.
I think
This
we're done
piece,
here.
this thing.
Yeah.
Dark side.
We're
We're done here.
it's over.
How does
How
your
do you-
honor,
how do you think
how does
he
your
did?
honor feel now? Cool.
How do you
B?
think he killed him?
Tainted.
What, Luke?
Did he like force crush them and then swipe? Oh my god! Like, how do you think?
You never seen the robot
Do they
chicken?
activate their lightsabers to defend and then
One of
like,
them
he
did.
just like goes
What?
through them?
One of them did. But have you seen the robot chicken? Oh, just come to my sweet place. I'm back on the field in Naboo, and it shows he's like walking sunflowers. He's just swiping them. He's just swiping out of it, and the hip pops up. Oh, ha 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 ha! He's just like kill all these sunflowers.
What do you think, Tim? Why don't
I
you
gotta
describe it
find
to us real quick? We got like 30
I mean,
seconds.
you can do anything with that scene.
Do you think it was a miss?
Maybe that's where he learned his first move. Where he throws him against the ceiling.
I don't hear any
Death.
derogatory remarks against
Death
them
from
for that,
above.
but I do like the visualization.
Yeah.
Tim, you're a team player. I like to see it finally back at the table.
I think our podcast is over. And when I say over, I think this is the
We're
last
never
one.
coming back.
It's done. That's it. It's over. No more. Yeah, we ended on episode 26 of the Force Choke podcast with
66.
Order 66.
Kind of
God, when we get to that episode, that's going to be a fun one.
Which one?
It's going to be Sith fan day. We're killing Jedi. Episode 66.
Oh yeah, that'll be what 4 years from now.
Somewhere in there.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we have like an episode every other day for a while.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, I'm just fine.
It's only, it would be in
Yeah,
2
you guys
years.
have the problem.
It would be
Yeah.
in 2 years at the rate that we've gone.
Yeah.
Because we've only been on a little over a year now.
Mm-hmm.
26 episodes.
We got 20. Yeah.
Hello?
True.
Jesus?
20, 40. 50. Yeah, about the third year.
Please don't take the wheel.
Okay, we're done.
We're just being weird now.
Yeah, they've seen. Our,
We're acting like
realize.
you, sir.
So
CGI puppets for days.
Yo.
our next one is going to be
And what did you say?
Or
April
a chicken.
April
So
20.
like chicken.
We're signing off with
Yeah.
20.
April 20.
Yeah.
We're-
April
You
20. I
won't
will
be
not be
here.
here. Well, I'm.
You may Skype in.
I might Skype in. We'll see.
Okay.
computer's not working that day.
We might play.
Well, it's because we're doing the camera right now.
Should we?
I'm just kidding.
Star Wars Monopoly.
We might do Star Wars Monopoly that day. Though.
Okay.
Yeah, is that all right?
Or the Cards Against Humanity.
Or
No, don't do that without me. I
okay,
won't do
we'll
that.
do our second annual
Oh, cute.
Star Wars Monopoly. So tune in for that. Izzy is our reigning champion.
Jump
Yes.
Princess. That's what they call me.
And do you want to tell everybody else your
Who's that?
YouTube channel again?
Princess
Before we
Chicken?
go?
At Izzy, don't panic.
Yeah.
No! At like chicken.
And don't forget to fill Tim's mail slot at timodude1985 at yahoo.com. He's waiting for it to get filled
Anxiously
it's lonely.
waiting.
in his mail slot.
It's lonely.
Oh, Tim.
Open for business.
Jesus, you're trying to break all this stuff,
I
bro.
know.